வீடியோ வருது. பார்க்கணுமா கேமரா போட்டா ஆடியோ இருந்தா வருது மேம். ஹலோ
Janapriya, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there, sir.
Are you able to see me as well as you're able to see my
Hello? Yes, sir, we can see you.
You can see me as well as you can see the presentation, right?
Presentation, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So we'll just wait for some time.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that whether the pointer is working. Is this pointer is working?
Yeah, yes, sir, working, sir, red colored.
Okay, good, excellent. The connectivity is okay. It is not any no blurrish or anything, right?
No, sir, nothing. Everything is good.
Okay, fine, good, excellent. So we'll wait for another 10 minutes to get
Yeah,
started, right?
sure, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
செக் பண்ணி பாருங்க வாய்ஸ்.
So maybe you can check with some other students also to just see whether they are able to ask questions and things like that.
Yeah, sure, sir.
One of the student to ensure that it is working.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll just put the mute video and audio off, okay?
Okay, sir. ஹலோ ஜீவா மேம்.
சார் சொல்லுங்க சார்.
மேம் ஏதாவது சார் ஏதாவது டவுட் மாதிரி ஏதாவது சும்மா ஒரு ட்ரையல் மாதிரி கேட்குறாரு, ஏதாவது கேட்குறீங்களா?
எப்போ காலேஜ் கேட்டாரு.
ஹலோ மேம், யார் மேம்?
சார் சொல்லுங்க.
உங்களுக்கு கிளியர் தானே மேம்? சார்ல ஒரு மியூட் போட்டுட்டு ஒரு டவுட் மாதிரி ஏதாவது எல்லாம் கேட்குதா அப்படின்னு யாராவது செக் பண்ண சொன்னாரு.
ஒரு நிமிஷம்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க.
வெங்கடேஷ் சார் ப்ளீஸ் வெயிட் ஃபார் மெயில் சார்.
ஹலோ சொல்லுங்க மேம்.
அது ஆடிபிள்?
எஸ் மேம், ஆடிபிள் மேம்.
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகே மேம், ஃபைன் மேம்.
பக்கத்துல நான்
Janapriya,
Sir, hello, sir.
make an announcement, or I will also make an announcement. Whoever is not speaking, they supposed to put that their connection on mute. Okay.
Yes, it is already told through mail, but we will also see to that during presentation, sir.
Okay. Okay. Just yeah, give that information. And are
Yeah.
you planning? Are you planning to do the recording also? YouTube recording?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So who is going? I mean, the Google itself. You are going to do the recording, right?
Yes, sir. Through Google Meet itself, sir.
Oh, when I'm starting the session, when you are introducing, you are going to do the recording.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Fine. No
Okay,
problem. So the voice is clear and everything is good, right? With respect
Yes, sir.
to.
Sir, it's very clear, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Because I also have another alternate hotspot line with me. In case of any problem, we can perhaps change that mode. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. And you said like, is it still we can pass on to some other people if they want to join, or already enough numbers? So
Still, we need to wait for some more time, sir.
no, I understand,
Fine,
but
sir.
no. Can I pass on this link to some of the other students?
Yes, sir. No problem, sir. Yes, sir.
Some Valamal students wanted to
Okay,
join.
sir.
I can, no problem, right?
You can send, sir.
Okay, because you said like already 250,
No,
250 is
no
a
problem,
limit,
sir.
right?
No problem, sir.
Sorry, okay, that's why I want to ask you. No
Through
problem. Yeah.
YouTube live also we are streaming also, so no problem, sir.
Okay, fine, ma. Right.
தமிழ் தெரியல.
ஞானப்பிரியா மேம்.
ஹலோ
ஹலோ மேம், ஸ்க்ரீன்ல ஏதோ இது தெரியுதா? வேற இது தெரியுதா?
இல்ல
செக்
சார்,
பண்ணுங்க.
சாரோட இமேஜ் பிங்க் பண்ணதான் தெரியுது.
அந்த பிரசன்டேஷன் தானே?
சாரோட ப்ரொஃபைல் மட்டும்தான், ப்ரொஃபைல் பிக்சர்.
இல்ல, சம் வேற முருகன் ஒரு பேர்ல ஒரு ஸ்க்ரீன் வருது.
யாராவது ஷேர் பண்ணிருப்பாங்களா?
அவங்க யாராவது
அதான் நான் சொல்லிடுறேன், அதுதான் கேட்டேன்.
சாரோட நேம் சொல்லி பிங்க் பண்ண சொல்லிருங்க. டாக்டர் டி வெங்கட்.
ஓகே.
நீதான்
How long you are going to wait to get started?
Shall we wait for 5 more minutes, sir? Yes, sir.
No problem.
Okay, sir.
Can you put your phone on silent? I think somebody has put the phone on silent. It's on travel, I think.
Hello, Miss Manisha? Hello?
Yeah, I think that phone is now on silent mode.
Yes, it's done.
You have an option to put the phone on silent, right? I mean, you can do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's check it out. When they have a question, they can tell that in the chat, then we can probably unmute them.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Venkatesh sir,
Yes, ma'am.
shall we start now, sir?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Sir, Venkat sir,
Yeah.
almost 77 participants have joined in Google Meet, and a few more have joined in the YouTube live stream also, sir.
Okay.
So shall we start now, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. No problem.
Okay, sir. So now
Okay, ma'am.
Venkatesh sir will give the welcome address, sir.
Sure.
A very good morning to everyone. So on behalf of the management of Ramco Institute of Technology, Principal and Department of ECE, it's an immense pleasure for our webinar team to welcome all the participants and our guests. To start with a great quote, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give, told by Winston Churchill. This actually means the sense of life begins with contributing to others. And it is also well known that experience is a good teacher. But when an experienced person shares his ideas and thoughts, we become double experienced. So in this sense, we now have a great experienced personality and an excellent contributor to the society, Dr. Venkata Subramaniam, database consultant, Optima Technologies USA, who has over 28 years of experience in engineering and technology. So Dr. Daya Venkat, basically being an computer science engineer, pursued his MS Computer Science in Northeastern University, USA, and PhD in Knowledge Management Systems. He also did his MBA in Information Management Systems. His technical proficiencies include programming languages starting from basic languages like C and C++ up to today's thirst, Python. He is also a well-versed person in database management systems such as Oracle and IBM. So to serve our educational community, he is also attached with eminent institutions across the state like SRM University Chennai, Velamal Group of Institutions Chennai, St. Joseph's College of Engineering Chennai, Sri Sai Ram Engineering College Chennai, etc. So added to his credit, he has filed several patents and published international book chapters, research papers for. So we now, on behalf of the management, principal and department of ECE, welcome the guest, Dr. Venkata Subramaniam, to share his valuable thoughts and ideas regarding Industry 4.0 opportunities and challenges. And we have a humble request to all the participants. Participants, kindly mute your microphones since it may create a disturbance to the presenter. So it's a humble request, kindly follow. Sir, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, one and all attending today's session. So I'm happy, I'm privileged to be here and providing the lecture through webinar. So now a classic example of the IoT and Internet of Things and Industry 4.0 is a classic example, not exactly 100% example. Now we are all connected through webinar, and there is a device connected with me, and there is a Google which is connecting, and there is a recorder which is recording, and so many people are connected, right? So in this world, in this COVID world, in the current situation, I think we are all connected through online. So this is one of the way through which we can connect. So I'm very happy and thankful to Mr. Vijay Bharat and other people who has referred my name to Ramco Institute, and thank you, Ramco Institute, head of the department and the organizing team and principal and the management for bringing me. I am planning to share my knowledge as well as some of the experience I have had, and also some of the experience shared by some of the other industry experts. So the agenda today is to go over what is Industry 4.0, and what are the different components of Industry 4.0, and what are the different skills and opportunities for the young generation, and also some opportunities for the researchers. So that's basically the agenda for today. Okay, for the convenience of video streaming, I'm just going to put the video off, and then I'll just focus on the presentation. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off the camera. Often I will try to turn on the camera when I'm going to give some examples. And as the organizer said, kindly mute your phone. When you have any question, you can just put your question in the chat box, chat window, and around before the end of the session, we will definitely open for any questions. Either you can put a question through a chat box, or you can unmute and then speak. Okay, so I hope I made it clear. Let me continue. Yeah, so I hope all of you are seeing my screen. So as per the topic, basically I'm going to introduce about Industry 4.0 to all of you, as well as 5.0, some points about 5.0, what is in it in 5.0, and what is the revolution, and what is the impact of 4.0 for the machines as well as humans, and what sort of opportunities you have in this Industry 4.0, right? So as they already explained my skills and my current profile. Apart from me working in IT companies, I'm also working as an adjunct professor at the Rajapalayam Institute of Technology, and also I'm a guest faculty for Birla Institute of Technology and Science. For the past 7 years, I've been teaching all the BIT students for MTech. And Velammal, I've been working for the past 2 years as an adjunct professor. And since I love teaching, since I love knowledge sharing, I'm associated with academic institution, apart from working with the IT companies. Okay, before we get started, I just wanted to put some question to you all. It's a thought. You should always think, a few $1 million question. Any subject you are going to study, whether it is Industry 4.0 or about new sensor or new electronic circuit or artificial intelligence, any subject. So basically, you should always look at these 5 different things. What is data? What type of data we are going to work with, and what is science, and what is engineering, what is technology, what is management, right? And if you are able to apply all your senses correctly and have the right data, and then make the data meaningful, making into a meaningful information, and then put it into some knowledge and develop some patterns, and then get into wisdom. So Industry 4.0 is going to help humans to get wisdom as well as machines to get wisdom to make decisions. That's basically the goal, right? And if you see the information is everywhere. Internet of everything carries information. Your mobile carry information, you are carrying information, the streets carrying information. So there are hundreds and billions of information everywhere. And but you should not forget the science. So even if I wanted to do a few things, I have to still apply the basic science. So you should be familiar with the basic formulas, science, and then only you should be able to apply to right neurons, because you should know how your human body works and how the neuron works. Then probably you should be able to map that with the machines. Then engineering is all about applying these structural principles and methodologies, right? There are some ways in which you can apply the specific method, so that you can achieve maximum efficiency. Technology is always enabling tools, right? It always enables, for example, IoT, cloud, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 5S. There are thousands and millions of technology available. So if you wanted to work effectively with Industry 4.0, 5.0, or anything, you should know the basic information, you should know the basic science, you should know the right engineering methodology to apply, then you should choose the right technology, and of course you should apply some computational intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, because we are talking about machine. Apart from human, we are talking about machine, so you got to apply some computational intelligence. Then you should apply the principle of automation. So now, for example, I wanted to do some work, cleaning my house or doing some work, I should probably automate through some vacuum cleaner, just to give the size of my floor, size of my hall, and then it should automatically perform the cleaning. And I wanted to automatically perform some calculation of my bank balances, my tax, and all those things. So automation is a key in the present world, right? And then applying the machine intelligence, put together, everything need to be applied for the management, right? Business to business, and then consumer to business, right? So we need to be able to apply visualization, apply some statistics, societal values, cost savings, etc. So in a nutshell, you should be good at applying. Basically, you got all the data, you applied your engineering, you use your technology, and you done the automation, right? You applied some machine intelligence. What is that you really gain? What sort of management outcomes you have received? What type of cost saving? What type of, are we dealing the new life? Is it a lazy life or a different life, right? And you should be able to visualize the data. You should be able to apply the statistics, right? So these are all being connected as part of the Industry 4.0 and 5.0, right? So now, if you look at it, we are going in a digital highway. If you look at the diagram, it is like a cyber highway. So very simple example I can give you. I want to know what type of car. I mean, I have already designed my car. I can design my own car, and I can design the car. As a customer, I can design the car. And in the internet, I know the car company would have given some models and things like that, specifications, and I can access my internet. I can specify what type of car seat I want, what type of mirror I want. All those things I can design, and that can directly from customer. It may come to the product design. So probably that the design will be designed accordingly. Then it will be planned accordingly. Then there will be a production process, like a manufacturing execution system will be applied, and then the product will be produced, and then you'll get the services. So all I'm saying is, we are living in the digital enterprise. Everything is going to be carrying a value, starting from a product design, from your initial design, chip design, the diagram, computer aided design. From there all the way loading the for example, glass manufacturing, solar panel manufacturing. So they put some kind of a circuits, design what type of solar panel they want. They do the design, and then it will just go for the planning. How many we wanted to produce, how many glass panels we want to produce, and what sort of engineering process we are going to apply. Everything is going to be automated, and then finally glass panels are produced after performing the QA testing. Then it has come to a service. So from your home, from any place, customer can just do a single click. They should be able to get that product delivered. So the whole thing is digitized and integrated, right? This is all possible because of Industry 4.0 and 5.0, right? So just see the industrial evolution. In the very, very olden days, like 1760 to 1840, we have so much of mechanical production. Huge number of people get involved, huge number of machines get involved. Classic example is railway system, and then steam engine, right? And then when we start going further, from 1870 to 1940, they started producing like say some goods in a bulk, in a mass production. And then they started introducing electricity. They started introducing assembly line, how one can be assembled using some sequential process. Then the new era started when between 1960 to 2010, when more involvement of computers, semiconductors, lot of devices, internet. So those are all the earlier three industrial evaluation. We call it as Industry 3.0, 2.0, 1.0. Now we are into 4.0. Before we get into that Industry 4.0, I just wanted to bring you some thought. See, look at this, the present slide now. You are calling as a smart thing, having the iPhone, iPad, Kindle, having 4G, Uber, application, Android, all those things. And, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Twitter, you name, there are hundreds and hundreds of applications you have. They did not exist in the year 2006. And same way, if you look at these technologies like blockchain technology, augmented reality, virtual reality, quantum computing, new languages, right? And a lot of machine learning features, 5G networks, all those things also like, start evolving from, the 2000 onwards. So, basically there are some enhancements happening everywhere in terms of device, in terms of technology, right? So that, boiled down to bringing an umbrella term called Industry 4.0. It is basically an umbrella term. When I say umbrella term means I'm holding an umbrella, right? So everything is there connected with that umbrella, right? Nowadays I heard that there are some places they wanted people to carry umbrella to buy things so that you can maintain the social distance, right? So it's a collective term and concepts of value chain organization, right? So it's all about how best you can connect machines and systems for optimal performance. And here they introduced this Industry 4.0 in Germany. In Germany, they wanted to introduce, they wanted to make their factory to a smart factory, right? So like say the tire will be picked up by a robo and it will come through a conveyor belt. It automatically goes, there will be a robo which goes and fix the tire. And then there will be a robo which comes there, put the, the banners and things like that. And they wanted to, increase the operational efficiency. At the same token, they wanted to reduce the mundane job. Mundane job means something like a person will do like repeatedly, like a low profile job. I am taking this mobile phone. I wanted to, do some kind of, cleaning or something. I'm holding it and keeping it. I'm holding it, keeping it. This is sort of a repetitive task we're trying to do. So human being has more, knowledge and more skills. Those can be applied for, betterment of life. So they started introducing the smart factory concept. So that's where that, Industry 4.0 start evolving. So basically, if you look at this, they use something called cyber physical systems. So because now, even between human and to human, we will have a problem like say a human may attack another human, human may steal money from other human, right? So when these kind of things exist, think about machine to machine. So there are so much machines. Does the machine is carrying the data correctly to another machine? In between the machine to machine, is the data is being retrieved for some other purpose? So we need to look at the cyber security, right? So as you see, like ubiquitous internet, information is everywhere, and I wanted to be able to use the information in my car, information at my laptop, information mobile, wherever I go. I would like to have that information and computing and internet available, right? So now we are getting into. I will cover the all the components of this Industry 4.0 when we go further. I'm going to talk the building blocks of Industry 4.0, and then the opportunities in Industry 4.0. There are many things I'm going to cover in Industry 4.0. Quickly, we'll talk about Industry 5.0. So basically, it's a next version. Like say, very simple. You might have seen Rajinikanth movie, right? Yendiran. Then you have that 2.0, right? So upgraded. So same thing like this Chitty upgraded Chitty version. Similar to that, here we have this Industry 5.0. There they are trying to introduce more intelligence, more efficiency. It is called Swan intelligence. Okay, for example, sometime we like say a swan. Some birds can probably filter the water and milk separately. Like we human have so much of intelligence, and we should know we should be adaptable. For example, after Industry 4.0, the machines and human being are adaptable only for certain condition. For example, let me say my case, I can come and stay in Rajapalayam for 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month, no problem, right? Because I'm used with this temperature, I'm used with this weather. Suppose I'm going to South Africa, I'm going to Kashmir, I'm going to live there for 1.5 months or 2 months. Actually, when I first went to Boston, I'll give you a classic example. I went to US in the year 1996. When I went to, when I, Organizer, can you put that person on mute? So when I first went to Boston and I was not prepared, I never wear my gloves. I never wear my full dresses and things like that. I was I was at I was at the railway station. Yeah, I was at the railway station and it was a heavy snow and a freezing climate. Almost I was about to freeze, right? Because I was not prepared. I was not, adaptable. I didn't know about the climate and weather. So what happens with this industry 5.0? Now if I go, I know because I know how to survive in hot places, how to survive in Japan, how to survive in Korea, how to survive in UK. In fact, I've been to Switzerland for a couple of weeks. Where I was there, I was able to survive because I was prepared. That is called adjusting, applying your intelligence better. So that's exactly what we are trying to do in the 5.0, bringing in more intelligence to machine, to the environment, so that things can be automatically taken care, right? So that's basically like in the industry we call it as a CMM level company. CMM level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When getting 4 level is a big thing. 5 means there are no issues, automatically defects are handled, automatically defects are fixed, and there is no deviation in the performance, right? So those kind of things what we are trying to achieve in the CMM level 5. Similar to that, in Industry 5.0, we are trying to improve the efficiency, productivity using more robots, more augmented reality, and using the term called emergent intelligence. That is the key thing. If you look at it, theory of complex adaptive system. A system is adaptable. Like say, same example now, Venkat can go and survive in any place, and the machine can work in the fire. Machine can work in the cold condition. Machine can work in mixed condition. Like say, for example, we apply fuzzy logic in the ECE. People know, like in electronic circuits and then electronic devices, we apply fuzzy inference rule. So based on the conditions, if it is low, we are increasing to high. If it is high, we are changing into low, and that automatically the device is adjusting based on the environment. Similarly, for example, I can wear one device in my hand, and then I can go, and that device will collect all the information and find the safe where I am going, and then it will give me an alert. And if maybe my body condition is not so good, it will send an alert to my doctor. Is efficient time. That's what. Right. Now, if you see that the diagram of what I've shown you in the very first slide, so in the industry 1.0, so much of mechanical work, so much of mechanical work, like so many chains and so many gears and things like that. It's all tightly operate things, right? And industry 2.0 start making so much of production line, like making an assembly line, like making like in Sivagasi and other places they use this industry 2.0 line, mass production of fireworks, mass production of matchboxes, mass production of biscuits and things like that, right? And then 3.0 started introducing more of computers, more of automation, more of electronics, so that the process will be more simplified. See this here, there is a human, there is a machine. Of course human will be there, human will be feeding, human will be, machine cannot feed itself. I mean, machine cannot feed all this intelligent calculation, but that will be in the 4.0. In 3.0, a human will be there, he will load how many loads of things he wanted to make, the loads he will do. Then when you go to 4.0, wherein more automation, machines automatically trying to do some work, and we are ensuring the cyber physical system across all the different components, because machine is connected, human are connected, ERP systems is connected, your mobile is connected, dashboards are connected. Suppose there is a data comes from machine. I'll just give a classical example. Machine is giving plant is down, there is a fire alarm. If it gives the fake alarm, then customers will get confused. and the ERP system will get confused, right? So maybe some data is hacked by the machine is hacked by somebody, or the network is hacked by somebody. So we want to ensure that we put the right cyber physical system securities and policies. In Industry 5.0, we are talking about more, super smart society. We are talking about now we are talking about social media, social connection and things like that. Like say we are all connected through internet right now. Google Meet is basically, example of this Industry 4.0. When Industry 5.0 is in practice, what will happen is there is no need for the organizer to put this mute. Automatically it will be muted. It will check the role of the person. Are you an organizer? Are you a participant? As soon as you log in, automatically it will put the thing on mute. And there is a voice disturbances, it automatically adjusts. It automatically provides some provision. It will do some sort of adjustments based on the environment. So what I have done today, because this is like a seminar and this is my own intelligence, I put this headset so that the voice will be focused and you can hear the voice, right? So what happens with this 5.0, the channeling of voice, channeling of data, channeling of signals all go through in an efficient manner so that you will get a better result. That's exactly what we are trying to do in the Industry 5.0. Now, so this is a classical diagram which will explain you about the different machines, how the machines were there, how this industry evolved. In Ambattur, Chennai Ambattur Industrial Estate, they are now into the 3. Some of them are in 4. I'll give you a classical example of Industry 4.0. If I wanted a door, wooden door for my house, I can design the door I want. I can specify all those things, right? And those will be directly fed by the customer. And customer, the order will come to the Ambattur factory. They will make that, right? So one person was saying there's a communication gap in the Industry 3.0. That communication gap is resolved in the Industry 4.0. Very good suggestion somebody was trying to ask. It's a good point. So basically, this internet of things, internet and then web services, data sharing. I'm just putting some comments there. Data sharing and internet basically reduce that connectivity issues. Now with this, that's why I said some Ambattur industries are there in Industry 3.0. Some Ambattur industries are in the Industry 4.0. Like I am a customer, I am in US, I am in Tamil Nadu, I am in Rajapalayam, I am in Andhra Pradesh, I am in some location, right? I can just click that link and then I can get that the wooden window, and then I can give all that. Yeah, this kind of problem will be automatically solved in the Industry 5.0, right? So that's exactly what. Thank you, Jnanapriya, for muting that person. So I can design the wood I wanted. I can design all the size by myself with some my look and feel based on my house, and automatically that will be designed and manufactured and then quality check, and it will be delivered to your house. So those type of things are happening now, right? Let's move further. See that this is an example of how the olden days, like which call it as a Society 3.0, Industrial Society 3.0. Like they take the lignite manually and then they're trying to load it, and they will load it into the machine, I mean the railway track, and then there will be steam will be produced, the steam engine will work after this burning and things like that. In Society 4 we have information society. Basically we are just dealing with the information, and all, of course there will be some machines will be doing some of the work, some human will be doing some of the work, but with a click of button you will know. Like say you are traveling in a train from Vijayawada to Chennai, you can know where exactly the train is going, and because we have a GPS, we have all those things, right? And if there is a delay you will know. So all those things, because we are living in that information society. So in that that the next version where we are getting is 5.0. This 5.0 basically there are a lot of information. Like you are going to make a decision, intelligent machine is going to help you. Suppose like say, see the picture, I am going with assuming like say I have a son and daughter, this is my wife, my father, mother, I am going. So as soon as I start leaving from my home, automatically the lights will be off, and there will be some digital locks will be put in place. Okay, and then when I'm going to some place, based on my allergy or my liking and things like that, it will give the recommendation to me, right? And maybe it will come through a message. Nowadays, very simple. When I travel from Trichy to Chennai, when I go to Trichy, I will get some messages, like Facebook nearby friends, because they know some of them are my Facebook and they are already nearby me, right? So some kind of external intelligence will be built in, and it will give all the information whether it is safe to go. And suppose some objects are coming near your house, or your son, maybe some level of like a health data is different, and which bank is nearby, and some recommendation it will give, like how basically right now you have to go into Google and then get some recommendation, but these are all automatically will come. So basically the 5.0 is going to bring in a better solution for better human life with the help of technology. Without IoT, you cannot do anything. Without machine intelligence, you cannot do anything. Without sensors feeding the right data, you can't do anything. Without embedded system, you can't do anything, right? So there will be so much of machines and sensors and embedded system, all will be contributing, and they will be providing the data. All human is going to do, even human doesn't have to do much work. So automatically based on my liking, suppose I like Sarana Bhavan Idli and Tata Udupi Dosa, right? So because I already had that that taste and things like it is in my liking history, and automatically it will suggest that now you are crossing Sarana Bhavan, would you like to try idli? You'd like to try dosa? Like that, the message will come, or it will give me all the indication, and it will also check what is my daughter's like, what is my son's like, things like that, right? So this is an example of entering into society 5.0, right? Now I'm touching an important topic. This is especially needed for the students, the young engineering graduates, and then freshers, and third year or final year students. So the skills are going to be different. Don't oh, I am a very good person, I will do a good Python program, Cython program. I am good at electronic circuit, I can do a good chip design. I'm good at embedded design. I'm good at PLC coding. I'm good at this. That's not going to be enough for you, right? How you are going to make value out of your work. So basically there are different skills, like say critical thinking, more creativity, because you are going to deal with machines, you are going to deal with the data. So you should apply a proper creativity, and then emotional intelligence, because you will be a machine will be sending a data. You may be thinking that one human being talking to you, like, are you you are doing a stupid work like this. So a human being is not giving the data, machine will be giving a data. Or maybe some manager is giving, hey, this is the lousy job. How you are handling that, right? Emotional intelligence, right? So that is very important, because you are going to deal with different type of people with a different type of skills, and some may be good at dealing with statistics, some may be good at dealing with machine, some may be good at dealing with sensor, some may be good at dealing with the banking domain. There will be mixture of people with a mixture of expectation, right? So how are you going to cope up with that? How do you make the judgment? How do you make your work is a service orientation? And how do you make the cognitive flexibility, right? So the industry 4.0, 5.0 demands more cognitive ability from the engineers, right? So with that, I will have a quick 2 minutes break. In my session, I always tell a story and positive point. So I'm planning to tell at least 3 positive points and stories throughout the session. So this is first half of the session is over. So I'm going to tell you one important positive point and story, right? There is before I go further with the story, I wanted to let you know your thoughts are very, very important. Your thoughts become things. In Japan, they have done a research. They have proved that even this water, now I have a water bottle, and in Japan, what they have done was they have taken water from one dam. They've taken the water from two water bottles, and they fill the water, right? One water bottle, they gave it to one person who always curse the world, who never appreciate the people, who never say any encouraging word. He always curse. Curse means he always tell bad thing. Hey, what is this water? Yeah, you don't have, you only filled half water. Don't you know filter water like this? He just curses. What is this? And he is just cursing. Something like this. He was using some, all these abusing words and things like that. And they've taken the water and they have tested with a microscope. They've used a microscope. They've done a thorough testing and analysis of this water, and they found that that water became contaminated. I'm not, I mean, this is scientifically proven in Japan. You can go and Google it, you can find out. Scientifically, they have proved that this water molecules can change its characteristics, its atomic natures, based on the thoughts. That person was speaking something, that person was thinking something that basically affected the water molecules, and the water became contaminated. If you drink that water, you will surely get corona. Corona doesn't pass through only that, uh, through this, spreading and all. Like drinking like this type of water, you get cholera, baby, diarrhea, blah blah blah. Okay. So the same water with the filled water, another water bottle, they gave it to a good person like me. Okay, and positive person like me, like some nice, people who always bless people, who always say good thing, positive. That person took the water, touched the water, blessed the water, appreciated, gave all the good words. They tested the same water, and it was so crystal clear. It was, when they look at the molecule structure, it was like a shining stars. Okay, like, so nice. The structure is so nice. Water became so purified, right? It's like an energy drink. So what is that? This points which is telling you is, when water can change its characteristics based on the thoughts and words, in our body we have some 70% of water. In the world also we have 70% of water. If you yourself going to curse you, Ayyo, I can't do this, I am bad, I don't know how to do this jobs are going, corona, this and this. Don't try to put negatives. Even your, people say negative about you or your thought process, things like that. Don't allow the negative to come to you. Develop more positive thoughts. So because when you start saying, I am going to get this certification, I am going to become this, because in this period, now we're going forward next couple of years, even I'm taking, trust me, I'm handling for 200 people in for bits now, like where the people are working in a big organization. They are still learning. So even people who are working above 30 years, above 35 years, above 40 years, they're still learning to upgrade their skills. Then imagine the young people in the age of like 18 to 25. You should learn more, because learning is the key. So what I'm trying to tell is, develop the positive thought and then work on the thought. You yourself believe in you, right? So quick story about the attitude. So there was a Guruji. That Guruji was one of the very famous Guruji. He lived in Himalaya. There are two guys from southern India, maybe from Andhra, Tamil Nadu, wherever you want, Kerala. So they went there to Himalaya. They walked. They took long years to reach Himalaya. They met with Guruji. They wanted Guruji to admit him. Guruji said that, no, my seats are full. I can only teach 20 people at a given time. But these two students, aspiring students, they went and put Sashangama. They just put Namaskar to Guruji, and then please admit. Then Guruji says, I will give a test. Even, in your interviews, assessment tests, there are so many tests, right? They will test your ability, they test your knowledge, they test your, intellectual capabilities. So I will give a test. If you pass in the test, I will admit you. If both of you fail, you should go. You should not request me. They said, okay. So he went inside his hut, and then he brought, two set of, seeds. In the two hands, he got some seeds, and he gave it to the two boys. Go. Come back after, today is what, 27 May 2020. Come back like, 27 July 2020, the same time. Okay. Yes, sir. Then he went inside, he started teaching. So the day came, 27 July 2020, right? One person, one boy came. He was coming with two sunflower, only two sunflower. His face was so dull, very drained, drowned. He just came, Guruji, this is the result of what you gave. What? Then he said, what, Guruji, you gave me this work. I thought you are a great Appatakkar Guruji. You will give some nice assignments and tests to test our capability. You have given some seeds and then you want me to grow something. These seeds, you should have given the seeds in the cover. You should have given some good seeds. There are like a kharab seeds. Some seeds are bad. Some seeds are boiled seeds. And I could not find right soil, and lot of problems and no water, with all the and no I mean no water. Some birds are coming and disturbing with all this difficulty. Only I was able to grow this two flowers, and he gave it. Okay, let's wait for another boy. Another boy came like very happy, like A.R. Rahman holding two Oscar awards, right? In this side, one basket, this side one basket, head, one basket. Here there are some flowers, here some vegetable, here some leaves and things like that. He was, this the boy, and Guruji helped him to put it down. Guruji face was so brightened. Wow, how it's the magic happened. What did you do? Guruji, I loved your assignment. See, the day from the day one, I started loving your assignment. You are a great Guruji. You are giving me some assignment. It is going to be good for my life. So I was carefully taken the seeds. I used my towel and then put all the seeds without dropping one of the seed. When I was going on the way, I slowly analyzed. Oh, okay, do this work. I will just do the coding. Fix this wire. I'll just fix it. No. But what he did was started analyzing what type of seeds are they. Flower seed. It's called classification. In data mining, we call it as a classification. Seeds and then flower seeds and vegetable seeds like this. I started finding out which seed, which payasam all together, right? Everything has its own taste, so you have to taste differently. So I found the right mapping of soil for the seed. So I started putting that soil, and then I started putting some manure, and there was no water. I have to go for a couple of miles to bring some water. Then I got an idea to start digging the well. This is basically a intelligence, swan intelligence, because every day he is going to go like a 2 kilometer to bring in the water. He is going to be drained. So we wanted to reduce the reduce the energy footprint, and we want to increase the operational efficiency. So he introduced a new well. He digged in a new well, started putting some mechanism to pull the water and then put it into this plant. So this is the result. So this is basically called positive attitude. Of course, Guruji sent that first boy out. He has taken the second boy with a very positive attitude. In life, if you want to be successful, you should have this positive attitude with critical thinking, and they say like having the judgment and decision making, and then service orientation. Here, his goal was what? He wanted to somehow get admitted. Similarly, when you're working with a customer, the goal is to serve the customer and have the creativity, have the critical thinking, have the proper negotiation, and have the cognitive flexibility, right? So, like you are trying to learn, our Indian government also trying to make a lot of initiative. There is something called NSDC to support for training institute, right? And also, if you might have listened to our finance minister talk recently, and our Modi government, our Indian government has already announced so many channels, so many websites, separate channels, separate programs for introducing the education for the school kids, college kids, right? So it's happening as part of the NSD, and we also collaborated with the European Union to improve the quality and increase the number of skilled workers in the various sectors. The goal is what? Because a machine can do a lot of work. Then what see, whatever, like say for example, now I'll give you one simple example. If you go to a mobile shop, right? Now suppose I wanted to put this cover, right? So this is called mundane job. why a human being can do this type of, it's very simple work, right? You think about it, like I will be sitting in the mobile shop, some customer will come, I'm going to put it. So rather I can do something else, right? So what happened is this is given to a machine. So which means you have to develop new skills. Okay, what else we can do with a mobile? Probably, hundreds of, mobiles being charged, being, put the cover, and what cover the person like, and you can do some kind of a tuning and improve the intelligence in the whole process, right? So if you see this chart comparison, so these are all some of the developed economy versus BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Korea, Japan, Germany, USA. So all these countries, if you see that there are three things: robot density, the number of robots going to be introduced. Density means what? Like a population of robots. How many robots are deployed between, so much, human, right? And then what are the number of patents? How many patents, intellectual property being, deployed in, created in the country, right? See this, China has
सिर्फ ये है
20,
कि बिजली
India
नहीं
has
जानी
20, like
चाहिए.
a
हमारे
35
यहाँ में
patents,
प्रॉब्लम है
right?
कि अगर
Density is
पावर
very
जाती
less,
है तो
right?
इंटरनेट
Now
साथ
you
के साथ
have
चला जाता है.
more robots. Amazon has deployed
कई
some
बार
robots
you
in
can't have
Bangalore
those
for
things.
some ordering. I'm
कई
going to
बार
cover
यहाँ
that
पे भी अपने
shortly in the case studies, right?
फर्स्ट डे
And machine to machine connection. So
in
this
fact
is like a very
इंटरनेट चला
less
गया, फिर मैंने
population.
अपने
But if you look
मोबाइल
at
को
it, see
हॉटस्पॉट बना के
the figure
और
here,
फिर मैंने
the
इसको
machine
स्टार्ट
to
किया.
machine connections market is going to worth of
अब ये थोड़ी बहुत तो सर
27.62
ये
billion USD
निकनैक्स
by
हैं ही ऑनलाइन
2023.
इसके.
Now we are
वो
seeing
तो
this
ऑनलाइन
COVID
की
and pandemic
लिमिटेशंस
and
तो हैं.
different situation. Now, all the, the drones are going to be delivering the food. Swiggy is planning, Zomato is planning to deliver the
So
food through
participants, I think
drone.
voice is
Even
also clear and you
like
are able to
there are
see
so
the
many
screen
improvements
also.
are going to happen.
Within
So what
another
is my
2-3
job
minutes
then?
will be.
How to
If there
understand
is
the
any
machine data,
limitation,
how to
please
because machine cannot
let me know through
work
the
on
chat.
its own. A human is needed
And these
to program the
participants
machine.
represent almost all states, mean
Human is
all
needed
region at
to
least.
interpret the risk needed
Yes,
to
sir.
improve the
All
operational
states, sir,
efficiency. So
from
there are so many
Tamil Nadu
different
to
types of
Kerala to
opportunities what you are
Sikkim,
going to see.
Rajasthan,
Like as you see that this many
all
Okay.
from
this many
throughout the country, and
devices
there
connections
all
are going to be
there are
there,
some
and
head
this
of the
much of
departments
profit,
also,
then you should
curriculum
use that
members
to
also, and
for
faculty
your own
obviously
benefit
they
to
are,
make money and to
and
contribute for your
a few
organization,
means
right?
just
So let's see
handful of,
further.
I think 5 or 6 of them are, or 4, I think 4
Okay,
are
so
research
what
scholars.
is there are a
Rest
lot of
all are
skill sets
faculty,
needed, like
professors,
cognitive abilities as
associates,
a
head of
core
the
skill,
departments.
right? So you should
Right,
be
right.
able to adopt automation, adopt
Because this
artificial
one
intelligence,
outcome
and
based
like some
education,
troubleshooting
every
skills.
now
For example,
MBA, they all are
very
wanting
simple
to
example of
accredit
IT
their
industry, I can tell
colleges and
you. I
universities.
am a
So
tester,
it has
software
become
tester,
mandatory
right?
to
I am
go
working in
Very
some
good.
MBA and all.
organization X, okay,
And
some
this is the
Brooks
best time
automation,
to
right? So
utilize to
I
learn all
will
these
go and then
things.
do some kind of
Very right.
fixing of the bugs,
When
defects,
they
right?
are in their
So what I
respective
do, what
institution,
type of
then
defects
so
are
many
there,
other
I will fix the
activities
defect,
are
right?
there.
Manually I'll fix the
Sometimes
defect.
principal calls
And
the person.
I don't
Sometimes
know
they have to attend to
whether
court cases,
this
and then
fixes
other
introducing new
departmental
defects. It's
activity.
called regression, right?
So
Yeah.
at
So
times they can't
now
really afford
in this new
attending
world,
program on full-time
you
basis.
should be
But
able
now there is no
to
excuse.
automatically
They
perform
all
the test.
can
We
devote
call it
their
as a
full time.
DevOps. There is something called Jenkins. There are so many new
Now
tools are
then
all
they can show
available.
the certificate
Now,
also that
the
they have
moment
attended.
build is
Then-
done,
Yes, yes.
there is no need of a tester.
But then they
Automatically,
will
there will be
work.
some test cases being developed. All the
Justification,
tests
that's a
are performed.
justification
I
for
just get the
justifying your
results, which
salary
all are
as
the
well.
test cases fail,
You know,
where it
otherwise in
failed.
this
Just I will
lockdown
just
time,
look at the report.
Yeah, because
So
particularly
the person is needed to
self-financing
automate.
and
To understand, let me
private
again repeat.
institution.
Instead of
yes,
you
sir, if this
manually
lockdown
going
goes
and
on like
fixing
this,
and
then
checking the
obviously the
defect,
authorities will ask from
finding the
us
defect
that
and then fixing the
how do you
defect, giving
justify
the
sitting at
solution,
home?
etc.
Definitely.
Automatically, that
This
defects are being
question would
found.
definitely be
There will
raised
be
at one
it
point
will
of the
be
time
fixed.
or
The
the
code will
other,
be fixed, and there will be a new
and we
build
got to be
that will be
ready with that,
deployed, that will be scheduled, and
answer.
we are running like
We are
automation
continuously
tests.
being asked.
The
Every month
projects I
we
am
are being
supporting
asked
on
for our,
for
Yes,
Cisco
yes.
and few other
how many
clients.
courses
We are
and what all you
simulating
have done. How
10,000
do you
user
justify? In
connection.
fact, the
I
line
can
is
call
justify
10,000
your
users to do the
working
test.
during
It's
this
going to be
lockdown
very
period.
expensive process.
Very
Rather,
right.
I created 10,000
Sir, I
agents
think we should
to
start.
come into the
We are on the
system
time,
to
and
generate the test
I can
cases, to
see
do
there
the
are
scenario. We call it as a
205
scenario
attendees.
in IT world, right? So one user is
Then I
selecting
think
one product,
we
another
have
user is
Quorum
selecting
to
another
start.
product.
Yeah.
So 10,000
2:30
concurrent
already
connections
there.
are being
Yeah.
set,
They're
being
already
added
there. So
automatically, and results are gathered.
a very good morning
So,
to all and one present
We
here.
are going to replace a
And,
manual tester.
today's session
Rather, we are going to
is on
introduce
the
a person who can be an
aligned
integration
curriculum.
specialist who can
And I'm
integrate
pleased to
with
introduce
different software,
Professor
different tool,
Dr. J.S.
different
Saini,
algorithm,
who was
different
who was a
DevOps tool,
former professor and
who he or she
of
can improve the operation.
Entrepreneurship
That's
Development and
exactly
Industrial
what I'm talking
Department
about, the cognitive
Department of
abilities as a course
IMCO,
skill-wise,
and he was
right?
also
So
the
in the
Dean of
manufacturing
Extension
sector, in all the
Services,
sectors, we are
Consultancy
going to
and
basically we look
NSQF
at the red
Facilitation
one,
Unit
elimination of
at
lower skill
NITTR,
jobs, and
Chandigarh.
introduce more
If I
intelligence and
talk
different
about
job
him,
portfolio
he
to deal with
he's a
customers, quality,
he has a
risk,
32
intelligence,
years, more than
and
33
basically
years
the
of
idea is what?
experience. He
Improved
has
life,
conducted
improved
large number of national
working
level
style,
training
right?
courses
So the main
on
challenge is to
entrepreneurship,
BRICS,
on
like
project
our
planning,
country. We are
industry
like
institute,
India, South
interactions,
Africa. See, we are not talking
outcome-based
about US
education,
and other
NBA
countries.
and
We
NAC
are talking about
accreditation.
Brazil,
And he has been
Russia,
involved in
China,
all the
South Africa, and of
NBA-related
course our country.
activities
So
and
they
has
formed,
been invited
and then
as
they found
NBA
that
expert by
we
NIT
wanted to
Srinagar,
develop
then
cognitive
Rajiv
abilities
Gandhi
and system
Government
skills
College,
over
Kangra,
physical
Central
ability. It
University,
is not
Bhatinda,
important that
to name a few,
how
and so
many
many
bottles I can
others.
hold, right? It is important
His
that
field of
how
specialization
best I
is,
can
as you
handle
can come out,
so many
that industry
bottle at the
institute
same
interaction,
time. That's exactly
rural
what we are trying to
development,
go. So if you look
management
at it,
skill
these are all some
development,
kind of a cognitive
outcome-based
abilities,
education,
right?
and
Very simple.
entrepreneurship development.
How you
He
have
has to him
developed your
121
knowledge
research
from
papers
childhood.
in
Like
reputed
say,
journals
one of the classic
with
example of
15
cognitive ability, I
textbooks
can
in
tell you.
his
I
name,
grown in a
20
small village.
modules,
I studied in a
and
Tamil
he
medium
has so
government
many
school
other academic
in
and
one
professional
town called
involvement.
Tirukovilu. That's where
Like
I
he's
studied.
member
Right.
of Research Degree
During my
Committee of Punjab University,
seventh
Chandigarh.
standard,
He has
I've
been
learned
invited as
I've
keynote
learned
speakers and
to
chair
swim.
sessions for
How I've
lots
learned
of
swim
national
was
and international
one person
and
was there, one
regional
Anna. He pushed me
conferences.
into the
He
well.
is
Come
editorial
on, come on,
board
come on, come
member
on,
of
come on.
Journal of
I didn't know how
Entrepreneurship
to swim, right? I
and
was
also
just,
Management
got into
Journal
the
and
water.
Journal of
And then
Engineering
he say
Education.
finally, just do,
He is also a member
come
of
on. Then he
AICT
put a
Expert
rope and then he
Committee,
want me to pull.
and he has
So he
been
got my
awarded
fear out,
the
right?
Babson
And then he
Entrepreneurship
asked me to
Research
swim like
Scholarship,
this side and things like
the
that.
Luse
Then
Braille
I
Helen
developed
Keller
the
Award.
ability in the childhood days, right? I can jump from like 100 feet or something, and then I can go under the water. I can do all kind of things. Now, if I went to Thailand, I went to US, I went to Canada, different countries, his water is different. Maybe some pattern will be different. I won't be able to apply the same technique, but I know how to survive in any well, any river, any water, any kind of thing. So once you learn that ability, even in well also, you should know how to float, right? You should know how to go underwater, things like that. So you take those abilities, cognitive ability, and then apply in different. When I go to Atlantic Ocean, when I go to Pacific Ocean, when I went to Bay of Bengal or Arabic Ocean, oceans are ocean. Once I knew how to do sea surfing or some activity, then I can do, right? So see this mechanism of how we learn, remember, problem solve, pay attention rather than any actual knowledge. The key here is what? You are going to make machine to do the same kind of thing. You are going to make the process to do the same thing. Even though you miss out something, the process is going to help you. The machine is going to help you. That's basically the cognitive ability. So basically you need to learn more, machine intelligence and neural network, and then, different social skills. Like, hello, how are you? This is not cognitive ability, right? Building a social skills to continue, like understanding the moment he is calling. I think you give a classical example. I think you all remember Surya movie, Singham movie, no? Vivek, sorry for using the Tamil movie. There is a movie, Surya movie. Vivek used to call, and then Surya used to call and get some information. That's basically what I'm talking about, social skill. Collect all the information. The moment customer calls, you will be able to clearly understand the customer behavior. I'll tell you the problem without cognitive ability. I used to get a marketing call from ICICI Bank. They will call me saying that sir, would you like to have a credit card account in ICICI Bank? This is not a cognitive ability. This is not a cognitive ability based company. That person doesn't even know whether I'm having ICICI Bank account or not. Okay. And he doesn't even know I have a credit card or not. He doesn't even have any details about me. He only knows Dr. D. Venkatasubramanian, etc., etc. And he is this and age. He lives in KK. He somehow got his mobile number. That's it. But if you are a cognitive ability, I mean, build a cognitive ability, then you should be able to interact. Like I think you might have seen that pizza delivery. I think there is a WhatsApp, joke has come. Like in seriously, in another few years, when a pizza is delivered to you, if you call for a pizza delivery, you call Zomato, Tomato, Potato, any company, you call for any food order, they will say, sir, you have a cholesterol, you can order potato. Okay, we have other option like this. So this is exactly where we are going for the cognitive ability, right? Now, what is the impact? Whenever there is an introduction to technology, whenever see, so tsunami, what was the impact with tsunami? We have this flood, suburban rain and Varda Puyal, Gaja Puyal, so many cyclones have come. And recently in Vishakhapatnam they had that chemical, I mean, near the Andhra border there was chemical plant, and then the gas plant, there is some problem. And then when you go to look at the West Bengal and other areas, how they are all affected, like this, there are so many problems. And whenever there is a technology change, when there is an evolution, there is going to be an impact. So impact on many area, economy impact. For every good thing there is a good thing and bad thing, right? Growth, aging, productivity, more employment, labor substitution. That means now robots are introduced, right? So labors are going to be replaced, and nature of work is going to be changed. You cannot work like this. See now, the way I first worked in 1996, when I went to US, the way how I worked is totally different. When I went to 95 in Singapore, 96, now I am working with US. Even last year I went to US. The way how I am working with them, totally different. I won't be able to talk to them, oh, we can create this table, we can create this query. No, I directly go into, this is a performance problem. We are getting into 0.136 seconds. I don't go blah, blah, blah. I directly go into a point. We need to do like this. So that's basically, what we are talking about, the nature of work, which is going to change, right? So all impacts are there with respect to business impact. Customer expectations are going to be different. Data enhanced production, data enhanced product. So if I'm buying a mobile, this mobile with carrying so much of data, when you go to social media now, it's like a hutch dog. They say that in the hutch mobile services and all. So data is carrying with you throughout, whichever device you are carrying, whichever product you are carrying. So data enhanced products, right? And how much data can be generated, how much data can be provided, how much data can be understood by the, for example, car, smart car, refrigerator, right? That the Amazon Alexa devices and things like that, and collaborative innovation, new operative models. So when somebody was asking some questions on the chat, like a different job opportunity, so data enhanced products. So for a very simple example, oh, I have studied electronic circuits, I know wireless ad hoc network. So what? After you study wireless ad hoc network, you know the functionality of ad hoc network, you know how the communication works, how you read the data, how do you take the data, how do you visualize the data, how do you present the data. If travel, I mean traffic wireless network is established, or some places where ad hoc wireless is deployed, how you retrieve all those data, how do you make a decision, how do you make the prediction, and how do you improve the circuit. That type of skills are all needed, right? Then if you go further, building blocks of industry 4.0 and 5.0, pay attention to this. I won't be able to cover all the topics, all the building blocks. You all know what is building blocks. For example, in electronics you might have studied, right? In the combinational circuits, sequential circuits you might have studied, right? We call it as a basic building blocks, right? NAND gate, NOR gate, things like that they say, right? So using that you can build anything, right? So if you talk about Industry 4.0, 5.0, without these building blocks, you can't imagine a Industry 4.0 enabled solution. Again, there is no product called Industry 4.0. There is no specific technology called Industry 4.0. It is an umbrella term, right? And it's a collective term. So in order to make it, like, for example, we talk about ISO certified institution, right? A NBA accredited institution, NAC accredited institution. Like this, we are going to see soon. Trust me, in another few years, you will start seeing it. Like Six Sigma certification, CMML certification, you will start seeing advertisement like Industry 4.0 enabled industry, Industry 5.0 enabled industry. Like this, there will be some buzzwords will start coming, right? So if you look at it, these are all some of the building blocks, right? So one is automated robots, right? Autonomous robots. So there is going to be a robot is going to play a role, and then there will be a lot of simulation, because as I said, the example of my testing, there will be a lot of simulation. We can't expect the real time, so there will be a lot of simulation, and there will be horizontal and very horizontal and vertical system integration. I should be able to go in a horizontal manner or vertical manner. Then there will be augmented reality, additive manufacturing, cyber security, big data analytics. Today I will be covering three topics here in the Industry 4.5, right? One is I'm going to touch upon cyber physical system, then I'm going to talk about IoT, and then I'm going to talk about big data analytics. Then I'm going to give you some case studies. I'm going to give you some classical example with respect to agriculture and healthcare and education and also manufacturing, right? So I'm going to give some examples of those, right? So any questions so far? We'll take like a quick 5 minutes question, then I will continue the remaining session. Let me see the chat window for any question. If you have any question, technology to handle the same security challenges, hardware domain like this, with the questions, building blocks, data handling changes, right? Thank you, Dr. Pradeep, for some of your inputs, and few people have, very good. So this is, you are doing what is all about Industry 4.0, collaborative thing, right? When somebody is trying to ask some questions in the chat, some other people are giving an answer. That's exactly, what we are talking. Any one or two questions I can take, then I will continue after telling one more story. Now I will tell one story, then at the end I will tell you one more story. Okay, I'll just look for the chat window. Okay, I think some questions have been already asked. Some people have already given answer. Let me scroll up some of the questions. There are some nice comments about the lectures. Thank you. Thank you for all the people. Okay, some people about speaker one. Okay, fine. Yeah, so some questions about the risk. Okay. Security. I'm just going to cover a little bit about the security and risk. Okay, cyber physical system, career focuses, career choices. Okay, so career choices are already listed earlier. Okay, so we have like so many different opportunity. So if you look at this itself gives you the career opportunity. For example, if you become expert in robotics, if you are becoming good at big data analytics, if you are becoming good at augmented reality, virtual reality, additive manufacturing, cyber physical system, good at IoT and wireless network, sensor network, and then knowing how to do a system integration, knowing simulation, right? So each one can bring you different jobs. If you go deep dive into each one, big data analytics itself, we can go there. It has like a ocean of products and solutions, right? And if you go into IoT itself has so many different products, IoT solutions and IoT hardware components, IoT software components, right? And then, for a very simple example, using some Zigbee, sensors, right? Wireless sensors and networks, right? And how to interface that sensors and networks with your laptop. And if you are IT person, system person, then you should know how to apply the machine learning algorithm to understand the patterns of the data and how to do some kind of marshalling and unmarshalling. Okay, so let me go further. Right. So we are going to start explaining this. Before we go further, let me tell you a story, which is an interesting story about Tenali Rama and brinjal curry. Okay, why I am choosing this story? Because this involves some security firewall issue. That's why I'm introducing this Tenali Rama curry story, right? So you all know Krishnadevaraya. He was a king, and Tenali was his minister. Krishnadevaraya had excellent. He loves food, right? Who didn't love food? So he, people from Andhra Pradesh, they enjoy, tasty food, especially this eggplant and brinjal and a lot of curry food, right? So he planted a special eggplant or brinjal, katrika, right? So and those brinjals are so tasty, excellent taste. And he specifically used that for him, his wife, his kids, and his relatives. And one day, and he put a fence. He put a big firewall fence, and then he put some security guards, east, west, north, south, all four sides. He put security guards, and then he wanted to ensure that the brinjals are watch all the words I'm saying. That is basically cyber physical system, and how things can be hacked. So all the four sides he put the security, and then every day, before the day, end of the day, the next day, they will do a count. How many brinjals are there? Are we missing any brinjals? So this is exactly all the four sides that security guards will count it, and they will give a report. See, cyber physical system give a report to the owner. Suppose I am having my mobile, I am having my car, and I am having my bank account, right? I am using some vacuum cleaner or some automated device. I am going to get the data in my fingertip, right? I know which is which is vulnerable, where there is attack, and all those things. I will get the notification. So in case of less number of counts of brinjal, then Krishnadevaraya will be noticed like this, right? So a couple of times there was some thief. They came and then got it. Then their hands were cut. So nobody were, like a severe punishment, right? So like Facebook case and many cases, we see like WikiLeaks and things like that, right? So nobody was trying to go and then steal the brinjal. So here is the story. What happened is Krishnadevaraya invited all his ministers one day to his palace, and he served a nice lunch. He also served this brinjal curry. The brinjal curry was so tasty, and Tenali was also tasting that brinjal curry, and every minister was appreciating. Wow, excellent! And there was a Appaji or some another minister was there. Everybody was enjoying the taste, but this Tenali took some of the curry to his home. Okay. And then he gave, and then to his wife. His wife tasted it. Wow, excellent! Brinjal curry, so much of taste. Why don't you bring the brinjal? Tomorrow you must bring the brinjal. No, Tenali was denying. No, I can't do this injustice to my king. No. Wife always pull you sometime into trouble, right? Big boss, you have to listen to your big boss instruction. No, wife is also good. They also give you good help. Sometimes they'll pull you into trouble. Okay. So the big boss ordered, no, you somehow bring the brinjal. Tomorrow I am going to make the brinjal curry for you, me, our son. Okay, Tenali didn't know what to do. Somehow he managed to go there, and then he started giving some sleeping pill with some juice, okay, to the security guards. He did not directly go and give it. He sent through his son, he simply say, those four security guards are good people, just serve this juice. So his son is a very good boy. He went and served the juice. So when these four guys were, sleeping for some time, at the time, Tenali took all these brinjals, right? And then he came home, and then very next day they made the curry, and then he ate, his wife ate, so tasty. And his wife appreciating Tenali, but his wife had so much love for his son, and she said, like, let us feed our son also. His son is very honest. No, his son just came back from school, and he was lying down on the roof. Actually, there was a small roof, so he was just lying down on the roof with his book. He finished his schoolwork, homework. He was lying down, and his wife, somehow I wanted to give the brinjal curry to my son. Tenali said, no, but okay, let's do it. I will do something, but you listen to me. Then, what Tenali did was, he went out, and then he poured a bucket of water on that son's face. And then he kept on, he kept on calling me, son, come down, it's so heavy rain, and, let's go inside the home. Because he was just sleeping, no, there was so much of water, he thought, it's really raining. Then he was coming down, coming inside the home. Then Tenali was loudly saying, hey, there is so much of rain, bring all the dresses inside, things like that. And he asked his son to change his dress. And then he put a new dress, and then he was fed by, a nice brinjal curry he ate. So next day, what happened, when Krishnadevaraya came to know that, they went and told, yesterday it was 150 brinjal, now it is only 125 brinjal. The 25 brinjals are missing. What happened? So he found that somebody has stolen. So security attack has happened, right? So he ordered his ministers, he ordered the people to find the thief. And the strict order has been announced. Everybody is trying to find, nobody was able to find. And this Appaji, another minister, was there. He's always like, jealous of Tenali. So he walked by that Tenali's home, and he smelled that brinjal, right? So then he told, Krishnadevaraya, why don't we ask, Tenali, because he is the only clever guy, he is the only person able to take this brinjal like that, right? Then Krishnadevaraya called, like, remember that story of that Bapanasam in Kamal Haasan movie, Gautami and those things, it also in Malayalam, right? So there are so many questions raised to Krishnadevaraya and his wife. They lied. Okay, no, we don't know, we didn't eat brinjal curry and things like that. What is brinjal? I only tasted one day, it was so nice, things like that. And finally, Appaji suggested that let us call his son. His son always speaks honest, right? So his son came. Then Krishnadevaraya asking his son, child, what happened yesterday? You tell me everything from the morning to evening, and then we will, we want to find out something. Then his son say, morning I got up, I went to school, and then I came back. I was tired. I was lying down. I was sleeping, and there was a heavy rain, and I got totally wet. My dresses were wet, and then my dad changed my dress. Then I ate some brinjal curry. It was so tasty, and then I slept again. Like this, he told. Okay. Then people were laughing, everybody, because that day there was no rain. It was heavy, hot weather, right? So then Krishnadevaraya assumed that this fellow was staying in a dream. Okay, he had a dream that it was a rain, and he was having that brinjal curry like that, and then he released Tenali Rama. Of course, after some time, Tenali Rama went and apologized. Say sorry to king for his action. Then Krishnadevaraya, appreciated him for his common sense and knowledge, right? So that type of cognitive ability we need. And anyway, let's get to the cyber physical system. If you look at this, so you have human. There are a lot of systems, lot of devices, system of systems. There are so many. For example, it's a web server. It may be a database server. There may be a there may be a machine, and there may be an electronic circuit. There may be a precision testing instrument, right? And there will be a lot of interactions. There will be human getting involved, right? So you need to gather the information about everything, and you should be able to, take some decision. You should be able to perform some action. You should be able to preserve the physical state. If you look at it, self-driving car, okay, I am taking my self-driving car, and suppose I'm not taking my I'm not taking my car, somebody else came and then hacked the car, and then getting into that car, it must detect my face, it detect my pattern, my fingerprint, etc., and then car started moving. So if the car started going with some other object detection, there is a problem, right? So if there is a different object, and if the system is being hacked, then immediately there will be a locking system. Some control should happen to flat the tire. What I mean by flat the tire means that air should be released. The tire should release all the air, and so that the car should not move, or there will be an alarm system. So that type of control we are trying to make. Taking myself, so I'm not taking my car, like somebody else, a small came and then hacked the car, and then getting into the city. Car, that's exactly what we are detect my face. Even it detect now for the COVID patients and things like that, they are trying to use some robotic-based medical instruments to treat the patients, COVID patients, right? So let's go further. So basically, the goal is we want to be able to. If you look at the thick line and that dotted line, right? So thick lines is like physical interactions. Physically, you go and then touch the instrument. Physically, you are going control. And then, we are trying collecting some data. So pressing the button, even like somebody else, that is escape and hack the dotted is basically logically must detect my face. Now for the COVID patients and things like that, they are trying to use mode of robotic-based medical instruments to treat the network patients, COVID patients, right? So let's go further. Like the traffic data. So basically, the goal is the traffic minister, or I am a. We want to be able to. And see, this is a problem. Look at the right line and that dotted line. This will be the thick lines is like, I know some of the physical interactions. Build some project, build some product, and touch like the instrument. Very physically, problem what we are facing now. Collecting some ambulance. So whenever ambulance, like someone, came and Rajapalayam, basically Rajapalayam must detect my face. Now for the COVID patients in India, still there is a congestion. Robotic-based medical ambulance have to do all this. Patients, and all those things. So let's go further. Like traffic data. So basically, our goal is waiting some time, or we want to be able to cutting. Like this is a problem. Look at the following the ambulance. So many pathetic situations avoided soon. I know some of the physical interactions. Build some project, build some product, and proper instrument. Very physically deploying what we're facing now. Collecting ambulance. So whenever ambulance, like someone, my face. Now for the regulation that we are trying to bring, the signals will be on the red and robotic based only allowing instruments have to regulate the patient. Robots maybe some like traffic data. Basically, they don't allow, or I am on lane. They want to be able to process cutting. Like this is a problem. Look at the following the lane. There so many pathologies. I know some of the signals can go. Build some project, build some product, and proper instrument. Very physically deploying what we're facing on the ambulance. So whenever so many pathologies. I know some of the population that should I and proper physically deploying what we're facing on the ambulance. So whenever Right? So these are all what type of decisions we can make, right? And then make the actuators like say make the traffic open, probably put some gate or introduce some barricade and things like that done by a machine, right? So eventually you get the right output. This is basically here we are trying to capture all the information from start to end, capture all the state information, capture all the device information, capture all the statistic information to ensure that there is no security violation, right? There are so many threats are there in the cyber physical system, right? So basically, if you look at it, another example, I wanted to avoid the collision, collision safety. I have a car, okay, even though, for example, there is a car going before me, I'm just pressing like a 80-kilometer speed, but the previous car was not going in that speed. It was going like a 70-kilometer or 60-kilometer, right? So if I, by unconsciously or, with some other focus, I may be pressing that, accelerator or increase the, speed and things like that, then it may go and then hit the, the other car, right? So we can probably, use this type of function, calculate the distance and speed understood by the braking function, and, messaging function receives the distance from obstacles and everything. This will be helpful for physical people, like say handicapped people or, blind people or, unmanned vehicle, things like that. So all we are trying to say here is we apply some mathematical calculation here, for example, obstacles, speed and velocity. In fact, when I was helping some of the hackathon for our students, some of my Valamal students and all, we started talking about some different ideas and problems. Like say, every time you may not have the Wi-Fi available. For example, I'm starting from Chennai, I'm going to Secunderabad using, one train, one Secunderabad Express train, right? Charminar Express train. So now I wanted to know, I want to probably get up in one place. At the time, suppose my internet is not working, Wi-Fi is not working, nothing is working, I won't be able to trace the GPS and things like that. So what we trying to find out was, find out the velocity, speed, the previous pattern of how the Charminar Express go from one station to another station, and check the speed, the velocity, the motion of the vehicle at the time, because your mobile has all the facilities to capture the data, and then capture that and then find out and look at the previous statistics. Some statistics is already stored, like around 3 a.m. it may reach Vijayawada, around between 2 to 2:30 to 3:30 it will reach Vijayawada. Then I can have an alarm being set. Currently now some bus companies, if you look at it, bus company will give an alarm. I think I've traveled to Bangalore or Bangalore recently. 6 o'clock, 6:30, bus has to reach Coimbatore. They're setting me an alarm. Your bus is reaching, Coimbatore in 15-20 minutes. Things like that. So these are all, but what happens if there is going to be an intruder? He is giving the wrong message. Like say, suppose my phone is hacked. I may be in a sleeping mode, right? So I may be in not Saidapet. Probably I may be in Pundamalli, someplace. Then there is a message comes there, like I'm wearing my headset and everything. I'm totally controlled. I'm mobile savvy, right? Oh, you have reached Coimbatore. Just get down. I start putting my bag and then came out of that bus. Then it was Pundamalli. Some people would have come and then attacked me, right? So because they attacked, there is a cyber security attack on my mobile device. Like this, bus can be attacked. Bus can give a wrong signal. The sensor can give a wrong signal. All those things are all possible. That's basically what we are trying to do in the cyber physical system. See, look at it. we are using information and communication technology, ICT, and we use some network control system. We use the sensors and actuators, and we have programmable automata, and then trying to do a lot of calculations and things like that, and put the data into management system. Very simple of cyber security threat. For example, 5 to 5:30, there is a car. It's supposed to cross a gate. Suppose, assuming that in France they introduced the smart gate system, smart door system, things like that. When I get into my apartment, I can just drive my car. It sees my car. It sees my car plate, and it opens the gate. Right. And what happened? Somebody has stolen my car, and then he is traveling in my car. Right. So does this gate should open or not? Because the car, they see my VIN number DN09AW6270. It read it, but somebody else was getting into my apartment. That should allow or not, right? So this is basically a security threat. So for that scenario, they will look at the previous timing. Can this person come in this time? Because they have the previous track, right? They will also trying to capture other images, things like that. So that's where the cyber physical system play a big role. Now coming to an important concept of blockchain. Okay, before I go to the blockchain, I will show you a simple example, and then I know I'm already using blockchain. Some of the universities are already using blockchain. One classic example of the distributed general ledger. Paytm started using bits and pieces of blockchain. Google Pay is using the general ledger. For example, I am having my account in HDFC, right? And there is some Google Pay account is there, like say 5,000. I am mapped to my HDFC account or ICICI account. That 5,000 I can use to pay for this. I go barcode. I can pay 50 rupees. From there, the amount money is being. It's like wherever I wanted, I can just give the debit automatically from that account. This account it will be debited, right? Think of that as a concept. So look at the distributed shared ledger, and then I'm going to show you an example. My PhD certificate is now digitally locked, and I am using the cryptocurrency. I'm using the blockchain. I'm using the shared ledger code to look at my own PhD certificate, which we already implemented by the Crescent University. Some other universities also implementing. I'll show that so that you'll understand. So basically, the idea is the ledger. Suppose I'm going to be interviewed by some institution, right? I can simply share that ledger with a limited time. One day I can give. Within one day they can access. Afterwards I can disable. One same record, that record or same ledger is being given access to so many people at a same time or at different time, right? So I will show that in a few minutes. If you look at this here, so you have 4 things, right? Distributed shared ledger. The ledger is shared. Data. It's now there is no more manual ledger. It's a distributed shared ledger. It can be accessed by many people, and there will be a cryptography, and which is going to be used to enable the encryption and decryption of the the critical data, and then we are going to make the consensus from that, right? And with that we are going to build a smart contract, meaning like say you don't have to carry your degree certificate, you don't have to carry this, and I wanted to pay one person, I don't have to, I just have my Bitcoin, I have my general ledger, I can just use that general ledger to pay to another person, right? So things like that. He can take only part. Very simple example. If I am going to implement the general ledger, I'm going to implement the blockchain for my house expenses. What happens is, I will have 10,000 rupees. Imagine 15,000 rupees in my account. Okay, my blockchain, right? My general ledger. 2,000 will directly go to my EB bill. 1,500 goes to my mobile bill, for example. 1,500 goes to one other, Wi-Fi connection, or grocery shop, or paying some trust and paying some money and paying some maintenance like this. From that, I created a block. 2,000 is gone, can be shared. So that means that EB can use my 2,000. They can take the 2,000, right? and the trust account can use this 2000. They can take the trust. I mean, trust can take that amount. So I have only one amount, and I am having distributed with 15,000. Very simple. Another example is if you go to bank, they'll have your account. They have a ledger, right? And if now the same ledger can be accessible, viewed, and shared and seen by multiple people, right? So and we are going to use a Bitcoin, and it's going to be a digital currency, which is going to replace the cash with the numbers and codes, right? So depending on the the work and things like that, Bitcoin has validity and the value. I don't want to get into more onto that. Okay, so what we are trying to do in this IoT and Industry 4.0 world, we are in the cyber physical system. If you look at this ledger, we have all the different transaction and our particular account, what is credited, what is debited, who is being paid, etc. You can make it as a centralized, decentralized, or distributed ledger. If you look at that, users are anonymous. Each user has a copy of the ledger. Suppose there is Dr. Tangakumar, there is Dr. Pradeep, and there is Jolly Silva, right? So I can give that access to Jolly Silva to take some money, maybe probably to be able to for Jolly Silva to access, Manisha Tandon to access, and then add some money, things like that. So it's a distributed share. So I don't have to worry. See, this will remove all the different bank and the different schemes and things like that. Okay. So basically, in the blockchain technology, in the IoT and Industry 4.0, it will save the time, it save the cost, tighter security, because that record is blocked, and that record only Supriya HS or the Tandon or a person can access only that record, that block. In the operating system, you might have studied, right? There is different, like say, think about like a memory being split into so many different blocks. Block 1 we protect, and a block 1 is being used by a process 1. Okay, we put a lock. So while that lock is there and the record is being put into that particular block of memory, no one will be able to access, right? You set a lock until otherwise you do so. So that data will not be changing, right? So this is basically another example. If I have this distributed general ledger, it is digitally signed and encrypted transaction and ledger. My auditor, suppose I have my bank statement, I can give it to auditor, I can give it to party B, party A, and also I can give it to bank. So all participants have the same replica of the ledger. Somebody is speaking. Can you please put the on mute? Vijay, Dishan, somebody please put it on mute. Yeah, thank you. So now we touched upon cyber physical system, right? So we move on to big data, right? So we are talking about ability, we are talking about skills, right? So when I talk about all the skills and so much of machine, trillions and trillions of machine, if you are not collecting the data, how you are going to make the decision? For example, there is a Jnana Prakasham. Let me see some people name here. There is a Aishwarya Narain and Arul Kamraj or Blessing Sam, right? So those three people are being given a work of, they've been given one big work. Okay, hey, we have 20 terabytes of data. You need to go and analyze the 20 terabyte of data. Therein you need to find out who are all the people bought mobile phone. That's all. This is what it is. But you are having a system with only 1 terabyte of hard disk and 4 GB RAM and things like that. How are you going to handle it? So that means you need to depend on a cloud. You need to depend on some Hadoop system, right? So you may be going to Hadoop distributed system. You may be going to low cost system. Very simple. Like say 6 friends having the laptop, right? So you can form a Hadoop distributed file system among the 6 laptop or some unused system and bring that distributed file system. Then you can start putting that 10 terabyte of data, right? So because data is growing like anything, so data can be from machines, from RFID, from network switches, sensors, So many different systems generates a lot of data, and the data will be in the form of streaming, structured, unstructured, right? So you need to make a decision, right? Very simple example, that why this Colaveri song, no, or Rowdy Baby song, how many kind of, the YouTube streams have happened, how many likes have happened, so how much of, momentum, I mean, how much of data, with, the frequency it has been generated, tweets, Facebook, Instagram, right, satellites, traffic signal, and medical data, machine data, your mobile data, right? So we are carrying so much of data, so we can't store in a single traditional system. You can store it in a database. You can even store it in a SAN. You can even store it in a NAS and DAS. Even you have a very big SAN, you can store India information. Like say I wanted to put one big place where I can store all the traffic signal data, where all COVID patient data. No way, it's not possible. So we need to go with a big data and distributed file system, wherein you are building, connecting so many different machines, building 10 node cluster, 20 node cluster, 50 node cluster. Like this, you are going to build. I have built so far 20 node cluster and 10 node cluster using Hadoop distributed file system. Also, for some of the works I am supporting, we are using MongoDB for the unstructured data, right? So see, you have different types of data. Structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. Just give me a second. I will just yeah. So see this, the data generated by so many transport systems like flights, trains, buses, and things like that. And you have so many electrical connections and transformers and so many power generation. Power grids are generating data. The stock exchange is generating a lot of data, so much of data. Social media is generating so much of data. We are talking about smart city, and different city. Your house is connected, city is connected, street is connected, buses are connected, right? Everything is connected, right? So smart city. So that means we should have a place, we should have a right way to hold those data, right? So see this, Walmart handles more than 1 million customer transaction every hour. Facebook handles 40 billion photos from its user base. Decoding the human genome originally took 10 years to process. Now it can be achieved in 1 week, right? So data is growing, right? So big data is not only data like, data is stored somewhere. No, you provide an ability to the consumer or user to handle large volume of data, right? Even though you have a limited, data, limited resources available, it provides ability to manage and store and optimize, right? So, see, these are all some of the V's of big data, right? Volume, ability to ingest, process, and store very large data set. So, if I am going to, look at the big data as a solution, any big data solution I'm going to go, right? So I need to satisfy all these characteristics, right? Big data system, big volume, velocity, speed at which data is generated, variety of data. For example, I'm a customer. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, you can get so much of data, variety of data. Like say, I'm also a person who like sing in orchestras, right? And if somebody want to give me an opportunity, they can look at my music related detail. Somebody wanted to approach me for social contribution, they can approach me, they can approach my trust. And somebody wanted to do some kind of consultancy and training, they can look at my consultancy. Somebody wants to look at my academic or research paper, they can look at the other side. So I myself have different types of data, different dimensions of data. So that variety of data, so and then they may be structured, they may be unstructured. Maybe I am putting some Instagram photo, maybe I'm adding some audio, then I'm just giving an SMS, right? So SMS is a different type, image is a different type, audio is a different type, your video is a different type, and you have so many other geographical information, right? And also like a text, an Excel file, and relational file, JSON file, XML file. There are different types of files and file formats. Sensor, sensor data, right? And some binary data, some integer data, so much of different streams, right? So all will be there, and variability, right? So basically, I have a variability with respect to the same data will have a different variety. Like for example, one condition it will give a different data. Okay, today I'm having like a 2 pizza. Tomorrow I'm having 4 pizza. Day after tomorrow I have 1 pizza and another pizza. Maybe same pizza or different pizza. There is a variability in the data. Data is not so stable. Unpredictability, right? Extreme, unpredictability. Veracity, right? So data, we want to ensure that data is not having any, outliers and things like that. We want to ensure that bad data should not come. Like say I'm talking about this IoT and Industry 4.0, 5.0, all suddenly some other topics are coming into like quantum computing or some other topics are coming there. It may be something related, but with respect to context, how do we go, right? So we need to look at the veracity. Then I have the data, variety of data. I have stored all those data. How I am going to make the sense out of it? See, we are talking about different senses. As I said, in the olden days, I got some information about how to swim, how to go underwater. I went to Atlantic Ocean. There also, we went to, there was a ship. In the ship, they had a ladder. They pulled me down in the ladder. I went underwater. In the ocean, I went underwater, right? So that knowledge, right? So basically we wanted to be, I should be able to explain, I should be able to, if I don't have a right presentation, right, I won't be able to explain the concept clearly to you, right? So visualization, so we should have a right charts, right graphs and things like that, to explain the complicated data in a nice form, like say COVID patients, look at the statistics reports and all they are giving. And value, finally, this is a new characteristics, a new V they introduce. At the end of the day, it should be a value to human being, value to the society, right? So apart from all those things, it should just give the value from the data. It should make sense. It should, by using this, it should improve my profit. It should improve my ability. It should improve my operational efficiency, right? So there are a lot of challenges, as we said. 50 passengers wanted to travel from Vijayawada to Chennai, right? So capacity of 25 seats. So you can go, vertical scaling, like have like a double decker, have like a similar one with a similar capacity on the top, and you can send more people, more people, or you can have a 2 buses, connect it like a horizontal scaling, right? So the goal is to handle the challenges, right? So if you look at how companies are using big data for optimization of web application, traffic flow optimization, analyzing the social network, like say I am getting so much of notification recommendation for some of the machine learning related, because I am AI certified, machine learning certified. Either I am getting some recommendation whenever I am playing a YouTube. You notice this, when you play a YouTube video, you may find a relevant advertisement based on your recent Google search, recent YouTube search, recent Facebook search, or recent post, right? They will find out this is your interest. Oh, machine learning, this is it. Like this, you will get machine learning. Suppose you are a person, very religious person, you may be searching about Swami Vivekananda, or you are searching about some pilgrim, things like that. You will get a different advertisement. So this is basically they're trying to do in the using the big data, because they have the data about the customer, and they're trying to make so much of value out of it. IT infrastructure. They will, excuse me. Please mute that person. Pavitra or Raghu. Okay, thank you. Okay, so IT infrastructure. So there are so much of infrastructure being spent, and by doing this big data analytics, I can find out which storage is being used, which server is being used, which location is using the right traffic. All those things I can understand, and then I can cut cost. I can either do some, we call it as a consolidation, decommissioning, commissioning, and then doing some pooling of resources. All those things are possible in the IT infrastructure. Churn analysis, how the people are leaving from the job or leaving from the the specific services. All those things can be analyzed. Natural resources we can explore further. my son is going to work on this type of process, basically looking at the natural resources, how to make better biodegradable fuel with this different combination. It allows you different exploring capability, weather forecasting, healthcare domain, fraud detection for the credit card and banking transaction, life sciences research, advertising, equipment monitoring, primarily for the biomedical and electronic industries. They may use that, like say monitoring all the equipment. Trust me, in few days and few years, you will get this type of support. You have a Samsung smart TV at your home. Actually, there is a problem. There is I've dealt with this in long back in US when I was working. When I have a problem in my storage disk, there will be an IP address, and the support engineer will just log in and fix that dirty block. There is a block. One block is corrupted in my disk, right? I don't have a way to fix that, and there will be an engineer will come and then log in, put the microkernel code, and fix it. The same kind of way, we are going to get it soon in all other smart TVs and smart devices. Suppose there is a problem, some signal is not working, some USB drive is not working, there may be a port they will use to connect to your device and then do a fixing, right? So those going to happen soon, right? So then, yes, we are talking about all, then touching on another important aspects of 4.0, 5.0. We talked about security. We are talking about connecting different physical systems and cyber systems, interconnecting. We are talking about gathering the data, storing the data, utilizing the data, right? So we have to, have artificial intelligence, have a computational intelligence capability, so that you, like say, this phone, assuming that there is so much of heat produced in this phone, so much of heat produced in this laptop. As a human being, what you do, that mobile is, there's a heat in the mobile or laptop is hot, then what I will do is either probably I'll put it in a standby mode or sleep mode, or I increase the air condition, or, trying to change the filter, do some kind of work, right? The same thing is going to be done by a machine, right? Then you have to train the machine of what you check. How do we check whether it is hot? Okay, you probably feel, the using your sensors, 6 sensors, you will trying to make the prediction, right? The same kind of thing you will, touch and see. So you are going to put that, the temperature sensor, heat sensor to measure the heat. Suppose the robo is working now. Robo is working, robo is presenting. The laptop is going to be heated, laptop is going to crash. Then that robot should be able to make the decision correctly, to probably reduce some settings, or increase the air condition or change the air condition, things like that. So that has to be programmed. That is only possible using the machine learning and deep learning. Okay, I'll give you a classic example of deep learning. For example, all of you, I'm giving you a small calculation, right? So I want you to find out the cost of a computer. How do you decide the cost of a computer? Cost of a computer based on screen size, hard disk size, processor speed, RAM size, battery time, etc. Right? So more battery time, more RAM size, more processor speed, more hard disk, screen size. If you look at the computer specification, based on this, computer price may vary, right? So as a customer, like say initially, like say you are building an Excel sheet, and then you are trying to put all those things, right? You do a calculation, right? And manually, now I will tell you, for example, screen size is 5 centimeter, 5 inches, 16 inches, something like that. Then hard disk size is 2 terabyte. Processor speed is 2.6 gigahertz. RAM size is 4 GB RAM. Battery time 12 hours. With that, I'm going to give the weight for each one. What is the cost associated? What is the weight associated, right? Then I'm going to find the cost. Okay, so we call that as the activation function. So for example, I'll say, hey, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. You know how to do it. Okay, you do all these 4 numbers added, the last number minus. If I tell this, now the machine is going to do, then you have to activate the same thought process and calculation process of what you have this whole thing is fed into a machine. So we'll have the input layer of data. So machine gets automatically the data, and how our neuron, how our sensors receives the data, how you process, how you do the calculation. The same way we get the input data, we get that hidden layer, we perform some calculation, do some aggregation, and then we'll do the calculation, computation. Finally, we predict the cost of the computer. So all I am saying is, I am a customer. Now I'm going. There is like a computer price. Okay, the computer price is predicted by a machine, not a human. Okay, I go, I am looking for screen size this and this, I give it, and then it predicts it. And it also predict if this customer using my previous computer purchase, then it will predict that this person will buy this computer. So that directly, for example, I'm using this Dell Infiron 5000 series computer, right, laptop. And next year I'm going, by the time they will have this data and they know my configuration, then they will go and then give a suggestion, right? I will give a feedback link also. I have developed one more feedback link for myself. I will put that feedback link in the chat. Whoever has time, kindly fill that feedback. That will be great. This is for my individual feedback. I have put it into the chat. Okay, kindly go through and then give your feedback. Don't miss out the last story. I'm going to give you the final story before I end the session. You will see some more. Selva Kumar, I have shared the feedback link, and organizer kindly send the feedback link also. Okay, right. So let's continue. So this is basically what. So the computation and activation, all those things we are trying to have being done by the machine. And when I go next time to Reliance, or when I go to WW, Amazon or Flipkart, based on my previous data and things like that, it will predict this is what you need to buy, right? This is the best configuration. It will give 2-3 model, or it will make me to give choices. Then it will give you different models. So this is the power of machine learning. So like everywhere it is being applied. Speech detection, audio detection, NLP, right? And then like another example is with machine learning capability. I really struggled in Japan. I went to Japan almost like when I was working in applied materials as engineering manager during 2006 or 7. I went to Japan from Tokyo. I was at the Tokyo airport, and I don't know how to speak Japanese. Everywhere it's all Japanese, Japanese, Japanese. Nobody speak even one English letter also. Yes, no, also they don't speak. So like a Gajini, Surya Gajini movie, or Hindi Gajini, I was writing all those things. In Japanese and things like that. There is Wakamasu, Wayashu, some name, no? I have to go to that train. It's all bullet train. Tokyo is a bigger airport. From the airport, there is a connection to Tokyo station, bullet rail, railway station. So I have to cross, I have to go and get the bullet rail, and it's all in Japanese. So much of struggle, really, right? Tamil is allu uttu pochiduvangala. I just got really, I didn't know whether which trail I'm going to go because I was alone, and I was somehow using that Gajini skills of writing that name and then showing the equivalent Japanese. I've got the translator. But now, if I am in Japan, I would be able to easily survive there because I know that all the Google translator, this translator, all the systems, and even what I can speak, I can say, then I can make that person communicate, right? So all those things are all have come as the result of deep learning. So basically, we're trying to get the data, as much of data. We're trying to do the cleaning and preparing and manipulating the data. Then we will, like how our human, like how I got trained at the, in some time. I was trained in at the age of 12. I was trained in Atlantic Ocean in New Jersey, New York. I was trained in Chennai, Marina Beach, using Bay of Bengal. Like this, I trained so much of thing, right? And then finally, I will trying to test it. Now I know how to swim in ocean. I know how to swim in river. Then I'm going to be tested in some other place. I go to Colorado River where I'm going to do a swimming. I'm going for whitewater rafting, right? So test the data, test the model, train the model, and then improve it. All these things basically is going to be done by a machine. So you are giving that ability to the machine, to the software, to the autonomous agent to perform the same thing like our human does, right? So this is like for some people who wanted to learn more about machine learning, Python, they can go to this nice place. Okay, so you can download some of the softwares, and there are like Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda, all those things are all there, right? It's something if you want you can take it. With the last one, I'm going to go to some of the case studies and example. See this, we are talking about emergent intelligence, intellectual resonance, swan intelligence, right? So basically, when unexpected things comes, suppose I am going the same Venkat, being machine learned, trained, etc., etc. All suddenly, one crocodile came in front of me, one dolphin fish came in front of me. I never got experience. How do I handle that? Right? That's basically talking about emergent intelligence and intellectual resonance, swarm intelligence, right? Whereby larger entities arise through interactions among smaller or simpler entities, such that larger entities exhibit properties of the similar. So that means I must have got trained in using small fish, small crocodile in my village pond, small fish in some lake in my hometown, right? So that means my eyes knows that this is like a fish, this is like a crocodile, right? So then I would probably some escape factor, I will call or something like that, or I'll just do a back swimming, something I should do. That's basically, oh, I saw crocodile, oh, that's it, my I get a heart attack, I'm going to drain down. That's it. No one can help me. Oh, crocodile. Crocodile is, ferocious, predator. It is going to kill me. Then I should not go and fight with it. I should just take steps, reverse, right? So same thing like that, right? So that's basically in the Industry 5.0. The Industry 4.0, 5.0, backed by IoT. IoT is a supporting technology and enabler, right? So basically, you have so many. You all know about the internet. Connecting all the network of system. Everything is connected now, right? IoT is nothing but networking of all the physical objects. My mobile, my laptop, my fan, my television, my refrigerator, bus, train, right? Everything, my headset, all things, all are connected. All the physical objects are all connected. Devices, vehicles, buildings, and all other items embedded with. See, going forward, please, I don't know about other branch of students who join, other branch of research professionals join. You can separate mechanical, you can separate electrical, you can separate electronic, you can separate computer, you can separate information technology, right? You can separate engineering and science, right? So it's all going to work like a family, right? Now the key is in the future world, if you want to be successful, you have to learn to be collaborative. You should know how to collaborate, and you should know how to integrate. Gee, we ourselves, when you're working in the team, you're going to collaborate, then think about it. Devices, how the devices are going to collaborate. So we are going to talk about one sensor with another sensor, one traffic light with another traffic light, one car with another car, different types of instruments, right? So all are going to, be embedded with electronics, software, sensors, and connectivity, basically enable these objects to collect and exchange data, right? So that's basically, if you look, the basic fundamentals, right? So various names, one concept, machine to machine, internet of everything. Sometimes people call internet of, Cisco is calling us internet of everything, web of things like that, world size web. Bruce Kerner is saying Skynet, right? So M2M is basically machine to machine communication, right? So basically, very simple. We all trying to work with some of the 5 senses, right? Sight, how I am seeing, how I am detecting an object, right? And I am, tasting, like I'm tasting something to feel that, right? I'm smelling some gas leak or something, right? And then touch, and then seeing, right? And then hearing, right? Or some noises happen, all those things, right? So those simulation, those capabilities we are trying to, put it into the machines, right? Take things, have the ability to sense, communicate, touch, and control. This is applicable for man, machine, and everything. That's exactly what you're trying to do. Look at the IoT market. As of 2013, 9.1 billion IoT unit. Now It is close to, revenue growth was about 1.9 trillion in 2000, 1.1 trillion. So every day the electronic instruments are increasing, so many devices are increasing, so many sensors are increasing. The number of, for example, this COVID thing also, the incubators and sensors, smart bed, they are going to introduce smart bed. So the smart bed with the smart sensors will give an indication. It will give suppose if a patient doesn't have to call nurse and all, automatically that nurse will get a message, nurse will come. Or even nurse doesn't have to come. Suppose the bottle is low, a glucose bottle or something they are feeding, it is low. Automatically, there will be a standby solution will be available. As soon as it is filled, it just switch over to another one. Automatically, the tube will go to the next one and start filling it. Right, that type of capability. For that we need to have a lot of instruments, so many devices, so many intelligence. Right. Why be concerned about IoT? Because it is not like another computer, right? All the same issues with whatever you are facing with your computer. When you are talking about, when you are going into during this Corona COVID situation, you are into congested bus, congested train. What type of issues you will get if you don't have a mask? Because I'm at my home, I didn't put a mask. Otherwise, I will put a mask. So whenever I say COVID, I got a mask, right? So you are going to do some kind of protection, right? So it is all devices are all vulnerable. Don't think that your phone is not vulnerable, your laptop is not vulnerable, your device is not vulnerable. If I am getting into one IP, see, if suppose right now, very simple example, somebody is connected to my mobile, my laptop. Suppose assuming that Ramco has a LAN, right? I am in, let's see, Cisco VPN. Now I am using this. I'm not able to. I'm going to Cisco AnyConnect security mobility client, right? When I'm looking at my client, and somebody has come to my system, one sensor is attacked, one traffic signal is attacked, and the other things can be attacked also. For example, we call it as a denial of service, right? So what we'll do is we will trying to keep on pinging, pushing the data, and then making, like, say, suppose I'm going to present here. Thank God we have the mute button, right? Suppose Jolly Shiva started asking question, Kottai Malai is asking question, and Jose is asking question. 10 people have started asking question, continuously asking question. Actually, I'm also seeing some messages also informative. Thank you very much. Right? So 10 or 15 people are talking to me, then what would happen? I won't be able to do any work. That's exactly what they are doing. When they find one sensor, when they find one device, they will trying to do an intruder, become an intruder. They start pinging, opening the node. The duty of a device is, whenever I send something, sensing, it will give a response back. Piggyback, they call it as a piggyback. Whether it is working, sorry, I'm using Tamil. Somebody wanted to tease you, they keep on saying the same thing. No, touch, hey, then finally you get anger, right? That's exactly what you're doing, so that you will not be available in that place. They will irritate you. They will be laughing and irritating you. Then you will go away from that place. That's exactly they are doing in the cyber security and the physical attack, right? So let me see, all vulnerable and any promises devices, right? So that coming to the topic, see this, there's something called network perimeter. So since very simple, I think you might have seen in some movie, if a phone is connected, one seat is hacked, one bus is going, now they wanted to divert the bus direction, or they wanted to put some some alarm or some threat or something like that in the bus. If they're trying to get into the network of, suppose you are already traveling in a bus, you are already in that network, right? When you are hacked, using you as another device, you are already part of that bus network. Then they can control and change the direction. A lot of movies are all there, right? So that's basically denial of service. And they basically, one important thing is they called about port. They were trying to unnecessarily open the port. Like, say, your Unix server, your Windows server, we have like a lot of ports, FTP port, telnet port, like this. Even your devices also, You all know RS-232C, you all know sensors, you also know all the chips, right? You have 24 pin, 32 pin, 64 pin. Yeah, there are so many different ports are there. You don't allow all the ports open, right? So ensure that whatever ports needed, that's only, open, right? So with that, I'm going to go quickly. So what you can do in order to have the right way to deal with Industry 4.0, 5.0, with dealing with IoT, dealing with cyber physical system, you got to know the right standard, right policy, right procedure. You should have training about awareness. You should know about risk management and knowing vulnerability management, right? So with respect to, so many different fields, like I'm going to take another 5 minutes because we started late. For example, you have like you know so many case studies I have. Before I quickly tell a couple of case studies, due to time I won't be able to cover all the case studies. An example, see this robots working in Amazon. In 2016 it was close to 45,000. Now Amazon has, on the right hand side you can see, 200,000 mobile robots are working inside the warehouse, right? Under some, there are human workers are there, and robots also working. Robot army has helped the company to fulfill, because so many orders are coming, no, Amazon Prime customers, right? And Amazon also has close to 1,100,000 robots. That's a spelling mistake. They are not Raptos, robots now in warehouses. I got the recent data. Zomato is also going to develop drone-based food delivery in India. So this is basically the evolution of Industry 4.0, 5.0. Okay, and move on to the other case studies, like say factory, like how the factories were there. Now the factory, all the factories, not tomorrow factory, already Ford and few companies are already doing it. Some work will be done. There is no need to wait on workstation 2. See, workstation 2 doing the painting. Okay, so maybe workstation T is doing some quality check, right? So there are few things can be done in parallel. So that's basically what they're trying to do in the factory, right? Siemens has introduced in the medical, they are trying to introduce the artificial knee and hip joints, right, as a standardized product, right? So it can just basically we wanted to do the implanting, right? They were just that are implanting the solution in the medical engineering to have the artificial knee and hip joints, right? And like Medtronic, Lord Lauren polo texture. It's basically started from steam distance, calories burned, how much calories I have burned, right? How much the heat has been produced, what is heart rate, other rate. I'm just having that shirt, tech shirt, that will give me the data, right? And Medtronic, right, implanted digital blood glucose meter, flips lighting. So basically turning off programmatically, you can blink. If, like say, you can just say, it just allows you to turn it off and turn it on according to if there is a blink, them to blink if they detect an intruder, or dimming them slowly at night, like this. Bablot for the sensors, connectivity for the racket handle, checking the ball speed and spin for the game, for the tennis game, right? So like this, there are so many different instruments, wearable tech watch, healthcare, as I said, all being controlled. A lot of smart appliances have been introduced, and efficient waste management, like garbage management. So there is like how the garbage cans are. This is one of the, if any one of you wanted to do a project or research, you can go into smart city, IoT. Definitely every area, whatever I have said, don't get into so much. Just trying to look at one thing. For example, garbage cans. What efficiency you can improve in the garbage cans, right? How it is giving the integration to the garbage truck, right? How all the trucks are communicating, and how it is going to upload into the data is going to cloud platform, how it is going to the consumer, how it is going to city council. See, recycling plan. See, recycling plan, suppose there is so much of garbage is collected, those need to be recycled, then it should directly go to recycling plan. What should go to manufacturing plant? Where should, suppose there is some virus or some attack and things like that, with some diseases and things like that, what type of health safety to be reported, and how human being can be reported, all will be in the efficient waste management, supported by sensing as a service. We heard about infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, knowledge as a service. So now they are also using a sensing as a service, right? So the key is sense. Gabbu, kuppai, smell, garbage, right? They smell the garbage, but they're trying to smell the garbage and they're trying to do some kind of, organizing, based on the smell, not the, maybe some metal smell, maybe some medicine smell, maybe some rat smell, different smells and different categorization, different segmentation, different segregations, right? So this is going to be the smart internet things of schools, how the schools are going to be, robot is doing the cleaning, sensors are doing so many things, online testing is being conducted, like digital classroom whiteboards and display, and automatically when I'm writing, I'm using one tool called Impetus, right? So I think I'm going to, some people are having another sessions at 12:30, so I will try to close this real quick. So we have so many opportunities, smart parking, right? And a lot of shopping application, and it is in agriculture, how we are using it for plant growth, and doing even the, putting the different people who are leaving, kindly fill the feedback form. I have given a feedback form link. I would appreciate that if you can fill the feedback form, or you can send an email about how you find this session to the organizer. I think you might have got an email from organizer. In case if you don't have a time now, you can do it little later also. Okay, I really appreciate that. Okay, so you can find out, like even like say in old, in villages and all, we used to have the like 4 or 5 different farmers will be making some lane for different distance, right? So all those things can be done by the instrument, and you can do all the coding, and everything can be done, and what plant to be put there, and how much of water, what type of soil, everything will be there, right? So these are all some of the projects you can think of, like automated bike, cashless transactions, smart travels, how to reduce a crime. Suppose you now IoT is there, and your house you are there. How, like say there is some vandalism in your house, or some problem for a woman, or some some dogs, anything you think of, right, in the house, and health and weight loss diet, how you can do that, how you can solve using blockchain in the trading, so many things, right? So in the entertainment also, they are using for the IoT, right? VR, augmented reality, all being used, right? So in finance, we already touched upon. They are all going to use in Dubai and few other countries. They are already changing into cryptocurrency, right? So the ledgers and all being introduced, and few places they don't carry any cash, right? So all those things are all going to be there, right? So with that, I am going to end. So basically, in healthcare, we already touched upon. For example, like say analyzing the patient, sensor to sense some diseases, IoT devices for patients for monitoring, precise surgery, medical imaging, digitally controlling, better service for patient, innovative service to patient, recycling of medical waste whenever the medical waste is being thrown, accurate information, right? All those things are all being introduced as part of Industry 4.0. Each one, there may be a hardware, each one, there may be a software, each one, there may be algorithm, each one, there may be a metric. As I said, first few slides I shown, no. Look at the data, apply engineering, apply the technology, apply the knowledge, right? How you can make better prediction, better application and use of IoT 4.0, 5.0. That is going to be the future for next decade for sure. Okay, with that, I am going to end my session. So this is my contact. If you want to make a note of that, kindly make a note of my contact. This is my Facebook ID, Instagram ID, Twitter ID. My LinkedIn is this. My WhatsApp number, my email address is this. Okay. So kindly make a note, and I request you to fill the feedback and send it to me. And also, before I finish, I'll give a story. If you have any questions, I will address a question. Then I'll tell you a story. Any questions? I can take that questions now. Now it is 12:26. I know we are like 5-10 minutes past. Okay. So any questions? Okay. Thank you, Pradeep Kumar. for your input. Any questions, feel free to ask me. You can mute or you can put the question in the that. Thank you, Dr. Pradeep. And any other questions anybody has, kindly ask that question, or else you can post the question. Oh, many people are giving the thanks. Okay, that means I can tell a story. Okay, so no questions. Excellent. I hope you all got clarity. I'll ensure that this PPT or PDF will be shared to all the participants, right? And one thing I always believe, right? Learn to lead, and not only learn to lead, help others, right? So when you transfer your knowledge, right, you will always, grow further, right? So I'll tell you one story. I don't know which story to tell. Okay. Uh, with respect to karma, okay, so after you hear this story, I hope you will decide your own karma, right? So I told about positive thoughts, right? Positive thoughts and negative thoughts, right? And about positive attitude, about common sense and cognitive ability. I just put that message in the chat also. I've been telling the story with respect to positive thought. Okay, positive thought and positive attitude, right? And then I also talked about the cognitive ability, and then common sense, right? How to think out of box, right? Cognitive ability, right? Okay, there's some mistakes are there, right? So now I'm going to tell you about your thoughts as your karma, right? So there was a king. That king used to go to his city, called Nagarvalam in Tamil. So every week he just goes to the city and see how the city is, how people are they happy or not, right? He just goes around in an elephant. Whenever he cross one particular shop, it's a called business district, right? So whenever he go to one particular shop, he gets a feeling that he get irritated. He somehow wanted to kill that shop owner. There was a shop. Whenever the elephant crosses, there was a shop. That shop is a sandalwood shop. Like they make some precious, sandalwood, like some kind of items like this. They make some sandalwood items. They make some wooden items, wooden boards, some gift items, things like that. All sandalwood items, right? So whenever he goes, he feels to gets a thought that I wanted to kill this guy. I don't know why. And it was going like this. Within 1 week later, he was going like in one movie, VIP movie. Vivek used to say, like he thinks that it's a mind voice, but he just spoke outside, like he just gives the comments, right? He was earlier he used to have a thought in his mind. He used to think in his mind, right? He doesn't deliberately tell outside, but that next week he was saying that I want to kill this guy. I don't know why. That one minister heard his voice. As soon as the minister heard his voice, this king used to be a good king, nice guy. Why he wanted to kill that shopkeeper? Why he wanted to kill the shop owner? So very next day, that minister went to that shop. Morning, Aram say he went like casually. He went with like not like a minister. He went there, and he was looking at the products and things like that. He was just discussing with the shopkeeper. That shopkeeper started saying that person appreciated the shop owner. Hey, you have a very good product. It smells good. Fragrance is good. You have very nice gift items and things like that. Then he says, "Sir, everybody comes like this. Everybody appreciate it, but nobody buys it. I am running. Now I am running a poor business, and my family is suffering, and I'm suffering. I'm not making any money, and the business is very dull, sir. But I have one confident. I have a thought. The king who is coming, no, every week, he will die. I wish the king will die soon. I hope he will die soon. I'm having a hope that he will die soon. As soon as he die, then the whole kingdom will only come to my shop, because my shop is a big shop, very popular and have a lot of material. They will buy. Then all my poverty will be gone. So I will become rich. Most of this wooden item, because they for the rituals, I mean for their rituals, they need to have these sandalwoods and all. So I will be happy. That's what he said. Then only minister thought, oh, because his thoughts are so negative, so powerful that he want king to die. That's why king is also having the thought of killing this boy. See the power of negative thoughts, how much vibration it has, how much attack it has, right? So if this thoughts would have continued, either king would have, died. King would have, maybe a king got heart attack or something, or this shopkeeper would have been killed by the king. Something would have happened. One or other, or both of them get somehow get killed, right? So what this minister did was he bought some items from that shop, like say some nice items like this, some good items like gift items. He bought it, and then he gave like a $50, 50 coins to the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper was so happy. Sir, thank you, sir. At least this will be very helpful for my family to feed for a week. Very good, sir. Then he gave some extra gift. Bought one gift, he gave another one extra gift, nicely packed. Sir, have it for you, sir. Good, and all. Then what he did was the minister went to the kingdom, and then he gifted that $50 worth of a gift item to king. That shopkeeper owner gave it to you because every week you are going, no. So he somehow wanted to give you the gift. So he gave the gift. Then king opened the gift, and then he saw so nice, so nice fragrance, nice design. King was so happy. Why I had a negative thought about that person, that shopkeeper? He's a nice guy. He's giving me gift and all. Let him live longer. I will give some gift. So he has given like a 200 gold coin to minister. Just go and give this 300 gold coin as my gift to that shopkeeper. The very next day, minister went, not in that uniform, in other dress. I mean, he went there, the formal dress. He went, he gifted this 300 coin, said that king was very happy with your, shop, and then he heard about your products and things like that. He gave this $300 as a gift. So this boy was very happy. The shopkeeper was happy. Oh my God, the king was a wonderful guy. He's even gifting his people. He is a king of this, this kingdom, this area. Let him live longer. Let him live longer. He started wishing him. Okay. Okay. So, excuse me. Anyway, so this is the karma of that person. Okay, karma o kurma o. So all I'm saying is, you have your positive thought.
Venkat
Okay.
sir,
Yeah.
nice story actually, Pradeep here.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, one thing, the moral of the story is we have to go with positive thinking.
Exactly. Your thoughts, your thoughts will, if you have a right thought.
Secondly,
Exactly.
although we have all come through negative line also, we have been forced into that. Maybe that is the root cause why we are not having creativity in the work.
Correct.
Seeds what we sowed initially were not
Yes.
the right way of sowing it. We sowed it in the wrong way. But anyway, what I'm saying, the future generation at least should be encouraged in this way. There is one
Absolutely.
positive aspect I've seen. In fact, I am remembering when you told about that this guy's story about Akbar and Birbal Tamasha.
Yeah.
That
right.
is a classic example as a childhood fable what we have read. That
cognitive ability. Right. Exactly.
So what I'm telling is, everyone in future should encourage actually the students, whether be your students, even if they have not done a proper job. That is one thing I like in him, and I encourage my students also.
Excellent.
So the finishing product will be productive, whether we are not meeting 100% the expectations. And we have to have a strategic action plan, how we are going. Now, I asked some things, what are the you want to make some dish in the house, what are the ingredients, what is the prerequisites?
Right,
absolutely. The courses what we are choosing are the building blocks.
Absolutely.
After you choose the building blocks correctly, you have to have an action plan, what you're going to do for making a career choice. Today, not only, if you see engineering accordingly, today is it's not there, not having the value which it had at one point of time.
Right, absolutely.
Actually, but engineer, one thing it created is, gave us a mind of lively thinking. In fact, all of you all would have crossed that stage when we came to research only, we would have applied our mind.
Right.
Not, but today, actually, school-going kids also have applied their mind, I think, to that extent.
Yeah,
so
thank you,
I
Pradeep.
think in due course, we may not have doctorates also, but we'll be having that many people in that level. So the education sector has come up to that level.
Yeah.
So our mind should be trained in that way, and we have to appreciate anything. Even if it's a 5-year-old kid, if they are telling something logically right, that mindset should change. We should not have the ego in the equation saying that we are 70 years old and we have seen light at length, breadth, and width and all. That is not required.
Exactly.
You have to encourage the positive way, and if the idea is correct, take it. If it is negative, you have to correct it in that way rather than doing it in the negative dimension.
Exactly. So irrespective of, thank you. Irrespective of the revolution, evolution, whatever is going to happen, so you should, have your positive thoughts, you have right actions, and that will, translate into your karma, right? So any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up. I think, do you want to say something, the organizers? I'm going to stop my presentation. I think I'm done. Thank you so much to everyone for listening to me. I know, thank you. You can go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we have a question from Aishwarya. She has posted it more than 3 times.
Oh, really? What is the question?
Yes, sir. The question is actually, we'll read it. In case of customers' feedback, how can we get right data information? It could also be false data input. So this may reduce the efficiency. Like in ROQ, that's the question.
Right. That's
like
good.
In webinar, many people may just log in and listen to you. How can we rely on such a false data? This is the question from Aishwarya.
Excellent. That's a very good question. There are 2 approaches to go. So there is a concept of fuzzy logic. There's a concept of the confusion matrix, right? So basically, you should find out the pattern, repeated patterns, and then like say repeated patterns and associated value. They call it as a associated value. For example, I am saying Arivu Gattavane, right? I'm saying like that, but smiling, I'm saying Arivu Gattavane, a stupid fellow, like that I'm saying, but I'm using my smile. So basically, if there is like chat bot or some negative views and all coming, it's a long way to work on it. You have to look at the previous pattern. Like say I'm coming in, at some speed, right? So we have to use that fuzzy logic towards 0 to 1. Which category this value will go. You look at, for example, like Aishwarya is asking question, like 3 people are like a fake users and 2 people are a good users and 3 people are giving some data, you're trying to collect it, and 2 people are giving, see, this is different, your keystroke, every fraction of second the keystroke is different. There is a minute level pattern matching you can find out, so that you can find whether the person is a false user or not. For that, you got to use some other technique, especially you have to use some fuzzy logic to look at the correlation. Take the previous.
I can also add something if you have no objection. I will just.
Yes, Pradeep.
See, this fuzzy logic I have also worked on. I'll tell you that when we have a set of rules, we have to identify based on the rule strength. We have to identify the rules which are going to be productive and informative to tell us the truth of the data set. Now, in medical data, we'll be having around, this called something, there's other neural network methods, a principal component analysis and all. But in fuzzy logic, we have a technique. If you have 10,000, 1 crore data sets and you have 10,000 rules, you can boil down the analysis to only just 100 rules or something and reduce the processing time and get the inferences.
Yeah.
Predicting the story exactly based on the rule strength, there is a threshold. When you boil to that threshold, what happens is all negative rule strengths will get eliminated. That means what happens, those rules are not required in our analysis.
Yeah, thank you.
Point on analogous, if you are having a meeting for 5 hours, you can prepare the crux and agenda for that meeting for just half an hour or 1 hour and elaborate on that points. I'm giving a summarized, abridged version.
Right.
This abridged version will cut down the time. Now today, even what we do in medical science now, this COVID-19, we have a problem. I'll give you a classic example. This problem is there now, like that several diseases are going to come in future. How are we going to predict it? Our knowledge is not complete. We need a knowledge repository. We have to get the repository, that is the warehouse. We have to form a subset of the data.
From one second.
The data set, and then we have to further reduce the time by using quantum computing. That is the process, because so much volume of data has to be transmitted and so much network bandwidth is needed. We are not having currently what we are not able to do the online things. Right. Our country is not developed to that extent.
Yeah, thank you, Pradeep.
One thing. Anyway, continue.
Thank you. So there is like, as what Pradeep was saying, like false alarm, true alarm, false message, true message. That's what you're trying to find out. So there are some techniques available. You can use fuzzy logic. You can use principal component. You can also use like whether it is true positive or false positive, true negative. Compare the previous one. Like say like 5, 2, or you have to look at 1 to many to many. You have to do a lot of mapping and then apply some rules to find out. Okay, and quantum computing will also support, right? So I think I hope you are happy with the answer. You are expecting anything more, Aishwarya? The rest probably you can contact me through email, and then I can answer and support. Okay. Thank you. I think any other questions? Otherwise, we will end the session.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have any questions, sir.
Yeah, I hope so. Just ask any
Ah.
last question from anybody. Otherwise, we will end the session, and I hope people are feeling the feedback.
Yeah, Aishwarya has thanked.
Recording also, if possible, you can share, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, sir, definitely. Webinar team will share you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Aishwarya. I think you replied back. So thank you very much. I think I'm again sending that feedback link. You can copy paste in your notepad or something, and then you can send it, or you can send an email to the organizer. So I'm done. Thank you very much, all of you. I know it's like sitting for 2 hours is a bit tough job. Okay, I think I told some stories, and take those stories to your life. I know many of my students took some of my words seriously. They became so successful. Many of my friends also. So learn to lead, help others, appreciate others. Okay. So have a positive thoughts, right? Your thoughts will become your karma, right? So with that, I end my talk. Hereafter, I'm not going to talk. You want to say anything, organizer?
Yes, sir. So as a token of gratitude, our management, principal and department, on behalf of them, we thank you a lot, sir, for your nice presentation, sparing your worthful time by being associated with us today. We would also like to thank obviously all the participants, professors and students from various institutions for participating in this webinar. And a special thanks to Mr. Pradeep Kumar, sir. He has given a few added points.
Exactly.
Thank you, Pradeep Kumar, sir. And that's it, sir. Thank you very much again. Kindly be associated with us, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, organizers. And what's the madam name? I forgot the madam name. Let me just
Janapriya, madam.
Janapriya, madam. Your good name, sir?
Venkatesh, sir.
Venkatesh, thank you. And then Janapriya, thank you. And thanks to Mr. Vijay Bharat also for his inputs and reference. And thanks to your institution. Once again, thanks to all the participants. I know I saw some good number of participants. Hopefully, the YouTube recording session would be more helpful for them to watch further. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, ma'am.
Sir?
Ma'am, leave ஆயிடலாமா இல்லை எதுவும் சொல்லணுமா?
இல்ல சார்
ஓகே மேம், நான் கால் பண்றேன் மேம்.
ஓகே சார்.